So just put 2 right there. Okay.
Oh, cute. All right. Hey. I'm here with Hannah. That's about all I have to say. Hello, everybody. I'm here with Hannah, and there you go.
No.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I missed you a lot.
Really? I was only gone a week. How was your Pride weekend? Because the official Pride event was in San Francisco the day before yesterday. Of course, Los Angeles had theirs weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, we had our resistance march.
Closeted?
Huh?
Closeted?
I'll talk all about that another day. I've got something to show you. Pictures from Florida. From my home where I grew up as a little boy.
Really?
Yes.
How was Florida?
Gorgeous, beautiful. Very nice.
Humid?
Very, very nice. As always. Yeah. You know, well, I love to complain about that, but yes. I love to complain about humid. But you know what I'm really going to do? Needs a sound effect to go with it. You ready?
Okay.
Switch seats.
Oh,
Switch seats.
no, I think
Switch
it's
seats?
good.
Yeah, switch seats.
Is the show on?
Okay.
Switch seats.
Okay, but is the show on?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, the show's on. Let's start the show in the weirdest possible way that we can.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live show. That's right.
Hola.
Yeah, that's my way of opening the show, and that's Hannah's way of opening the show.
Just
there
a
you
Spanish. Hola. Yes.
go. Hola,
Hola.
¿cómo estás? Or
That's about it.
to all our Spanish-speaking friends, welcome to the Alamo Tour. Buenos dias.
Where's the basement?
Where's the basement? I knew it! I knew it! There's no basement in the Alamo! That is brilliant. Thank you. 10
I had
points for... What house are you in?
Gryffindor.
Okay,
I
10 points for
know.
Gryffindor.
Yes.
I'm a Ravenclaw, sorry. You and me, we have our little
That's fine.
differences.
Hey.
But...
Hey. My sister's Ravenclaw.
Yes, that's a water bottle, yes.
It's okay.
Yes, there have been weirder starts. Oh no, Sarah says that we have had weirder beginnings. This is the weirdest
that's
possible
true.
opening to Torn Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. We call it Torn. That means theonering.net. When you boil it down to a cute little acronym, Torn is, well, the very big, long-standing web portal, the web community, for all J.R.R. Tolkien fans.
Yes.
So all you ringers around the world,
And
fans...
here's the master ringer right here.
Not at all. No, I'm just a
Yeah.
guy. Nah,
No, master ringer.
I'm just
master
a guy. I'm just a
Master sword chief.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Nah, I'm
Yeah.
just a guy doing his
No.
thing. Cheers to that, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
No, hey, theonering.net, happy home of happy hobbits and elves and dwarves, men, elves, dragons, goblins, orcs, golemses, preciouses,
Maybe not spiders, though.
shapeshifters, skin changers.
Looking at you, Kyle. Thanks for sending me that photo.
There's Francisco. Hey, congratulations and a big round of applause for Meltdown Comics being the best all-time comic book store and geek centerpiece of all Los Angeles and probably of all time here in North American. I mean, there's nowhere else in the great 48 states. I mean, maybe Hawaii or Alaska have better comic book stores. Maybe. Having never been there, I can't say. But thank you, Meltdown Comics. This is where we host our amazing live show. And now Hannah is here with us to be my, delightful co-host
Yes.
for theonering.net Tuesday. Here we are.
Screaming. Ah!
That's what. Who's screaming? Hey,
Me.
hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
That's what.
Oh, yeah, when we had puppets singing Nightmare at Christmas. Oh, yeah. There was a time when we had puppets singing Nightmare Before Christmas. Should I start?
See.
There are few who deny that what I do, I am the best, though my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying. Bump, bump. With the slightest little effort of my
my
ghost-like
ghost-like
charms. I've seen grown men give out a shriek, bump, bump, with a wave of my hand and a well-placed moan. I've swept the very bravest off their feet. Good job. That's why Hannah is here. You got me started. You guys got me started on the Jack Skellington. Why did you do that? We're totally going to get pulled off of YouTube for like copyright violation.
Well, I mean, we didn't have Danny Elfman in the back, so.
Oh, he should be here. Hi, Dallas. Hey, Dallas is on the show.
Oh.
I want to say hello, a big acknowledgement to all dear ringers out there. There's Kaylin Griffin, one of my favorite ladies in the whole wide world, Jean Bourgeois. There's Caroline. Hello, Caroline Bradley. And our buddy, Dallas. Yes, Dallas.
Barnett.
It would be karaoke night if there was a silent orchestra. That is what.
Yes.
That's
I
what
mean,
we're
this
missing.
is coming from somebody who's never done karaoke before, so.
Then you're going to be
Yeah.
ready for your first time. All right, I'm going to take you to your first time. As soon as you're 21, I'm taking you out to karaoke.
Okay.
I'm taking you out to the best
All
place.
right.
Well, we know we should hit the Brass Monkey downtown in Koreatown. Classy, weird, wacky joint. And I don't mean classy, but it's like
Wait.
it's the famous karaoke joint of K-Town.
Okay.
The Beastie Boys wrote a song about it. Brass monkey, monkey, that funky monkey. I'm dating myself. You don't know, but anyways.
It's okay, though. That's all right. It's okay.
Hey, we have a live show, and it's all okay. It's all okay. I'm so glad you're here, my gracious and wonderful co-host. This is
My
a
host.
talented filmmaker, writer, and bone in my throat. This is the girl with the smarter instincts.
The kid. I'm the kid here.
No, yeah, the young lady with the smarter instincts than
no.
anybody in the room.
No.
Oh, no,
I'm
this
the
is
kid.
Hannah, by the way, and I'm Clifford. Okay, hey, my mom is sending me a message. Oh, I'm just kidding. I was just kidding, Mom. I need to text Mom right away. I was just kidding. Okay? I am interrupting. That's not how you spell interrupting, okay?
It's okay.
I am interrupting
good.
my own live show
Yes, Sarah.
to text you
Sarah.
and make
That's
a
weird.
joke.
Yes, Sarah. My song is Guns and Ships. Yeah.
What? Oh, wait. Hey, where is okay, Letitia's outside. She's
Yeah,
on.
she
Where's our
went
audience? We have.
outside.
Oh, that's because it's really hot in here.
See.
Well, we're going to fix that. Oh, hey, check out Collider Video's comic book shopping with John Schnepp at Meltdown Comics. That's pretty cool. Haha. You know what? I love Collider Videos. I've seen a lot of good Collider stuff. And I used to host my own weekly comic show here. We were broadcasting on XSN. And it's really cool. It was New Comics Wednesday. And I was joined by co-host Derek Vandermillen. And he's really cool. He's like the living Green Lantern. He's like a real Hal Jordan. He's a total Hal Jordan in real life. And he and I talked about the new comic books every week. What? Were you thinking the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern?
Yeah,
No.
that's what I thought of at first. I'm like,
No.
all right, I guess.
I don't ever talk about the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. And neither should you. Neither should you. I never mention that film. Unless I'm complaining about something that DC is doing wrong with the DC Extended Universe, which that happens sometimes. Anyways, hey, we got a live show. There's Justin. He's not
He's
here.
walking in the back.
He's Ghost Justin floating around.
Woo.
Yeah, but he's a cool guy.
I'm shaking, scared.
And
Ghost.
what's on your mind? Since I've been gone a week, hey, I have to say thank you to Happy Hobbits, to Keely and Feely. That would be the wonderful Kelly and Alex who came onto the show with Justin, and they filled in the gap while I was gone for a family vacation in beautiful New Smyrna Beach, Florida. And now I'm back. So tell me, how you doing since I've been gone?
I've been gone 2 weeks as well. So.
You had finals and stuff, right?
No, I was in I'm gonna butcher the name. National Park.
Yosemite.
Yeah. I was there,
Yosemite.
and then I was in Bakersfield
Oh,
with my aunt.
I'm sorry about
So-
Bakersfield.
It was hot.
Was
Very
there,
hot.
like, did you bump into Buck Owens? Is he still alive?
No, but we did see the hotel or lounge that he built.
He's yeah. Did you trip
That
in the
was cool.
carrot fields? Because there's nothing there but carrots.
We picked strawberries.
Strawberries? Yeah, that's true.
Strawberry
No.
fields forever.
Open up any bag of carrots in the state of California and read the back of the bag. Bakersfield. Farmed in Bakersfield, California, always. 100%, hands down. I have yet to find a single carrot that has not been indigenously from Bakersfield.
I mean, the only one I could think of is the one that Peter Jackson's eating. And, you know,
Oh, yeah, when he plays...
Carrot Man.
What's his name? Albert Drury. He has a
Albert
name.
He does?
Yeah, do you know what? It's in the Decipher
No.
card game. Yeah, his anonymous character showing up in
This
Bree,
is why,
outside of Bree,
this is why Cliff is the master.
Albert. No, though Google
Master
has this
Chief.
info. Shit. Google has the information.
Master Chief.
I'm not a Master Chief.
Yes.
Master Chef?
Master Chef.
Master
Gordon,
Card?
Gordon Ramsay right here.
Hardly.
I'm just kidding, you're not Gordon Ramsay.
Oh my gosh, we're starting Instagram Live as well. That
Yes.
means you're joining us on Torn Tuesday on multiple platforms. And we encourage everybody to be, to be part of the show.
We got
This
eyes
is
here.
an interactive show. We've got cameras around that feed us into, hello, welcome to theonering.net.
Hola.
We're live on Ustream, the main website, theonering.net/live. And not only on Ustream, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram Live, on your mama and your daddy and your no panty granny. That's how live we are. We're on all
Exactly.
those channels too. I just invented those channels.
That
What?
was spicy.
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 What?
That was spicy.
That was like,
That was real spicy.
Ted, tell me your idea what you want to do with the stories.
Hilarious.
Ask them if they want to see that.
Story.
yeah.
Instagram stories.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
I don't even know what I'm here for. Because I'm
Yes.
just here to gently, yes. Sarah says I can't say Yosemite either. Everyone thought I was
Yeah.
saying 270.
270. Yes.
That's funny.
Likewise.
That's funny.
It's okay.
PJ's carrot gag has been going on for a while now. I think he's done it in other movies. Is it possible, Dallas? Is it possible that Peter Jackson has had other cameos, maybe in Brain Dead, which was released as Dead Alive in other countries? Also, maybe Meet the Feebles. I'd be really pleased if there's a carrot gag with PJ in the background somewhere.
Oh, with
that would
Meet
be
the
really funny.
Feebles, I know that. He doesn't have that.
A cameo?
No, I don't know about the cameo, but not the carrot thing. The only other cameo that I know that he has outside of Lord of the Rings is, what is that movie called?
My mom is texting me and I'm doing my show. Hi, Mom. But I'm in the middle of a show, Mom.
Hot Fuzz.
Oh, yeah, Hot Fuzz. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he stabbed the guy. I've never seen the movie, but he stabbed the guy in the hand. With,
Really?
Dressed up as Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. With the
Yeah.
carrot.
I saw that on a top 10, so
You are so funny.
I'm Hannah.
Top 10 clips. Hello, Hannah, who doesn't see real movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
I
get your
stutter.
you get your pop culture information from top 10 lists.
Yeah, that's how I found about Tolkien. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm
Oh
just
my
kidding.
gosh, no. Satan said, thank you, Justin,
I'm
for
just
letting
kidding.
breath of fresh air come in here.
That's a joke.
We're really glad to have you guys be part of it. Pete Northrunner, I love you, man. Pete, her last name is actually different now. It would be Savado, but that's funny. Now everybody knows. Everyone's going to be looking for my sister or my mom, Tiffany, who invariably comes into the Facebook Live chat. So we have a hotline. We're going to take messages on the hotline. You see that phone number?
It's-
Floating. Actually, it's floating from my
Oh.
left
Wait.
over to the stage right. There you go.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah. So and we're getting hot. We're getting hot text messages. Some of them might be spicy. Some of them
Spicy.
might be a little bit too sucio.
Sushi.
Sucio. Hey everybody, we're saying hi to this. Oh, there's Flower Crowned Hobbit. We're looking at all the love happening in Instagram Live, and thoughts on Han Solo troubles. I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to address this real quick. It is really, really interesting that Kathleen Kennedy, who's got all this experience making these movies with other filmmakers, and Spielberg even, her partner, and Kathleen Kennedy being the main lead producer in charge of, along with Lawrence Kasdan, of course, the writer, you got Kathleen Kennedy saying, I need to find some other interesting directors, bring them into the Star Wars universe. And she says in a public interview, we want to find somebody who brings their fresh voice to Star Wars. And then when you get these two guys from the Lego movie, who actually do this exact thing that you're talking about, bring their own fresh perspective to the acting process and the production thing that they're doing. And it's really interesting that you get what you wanted. You want fresh voices, and then all of a sudden they don't fit, and you fire them, like, after months of shooting.
Oh,
That's just so
what's
weird.
happened?
Huh?
That's what happened?
Yeah,
'Cause
Ron Howard, the director, has now replaced the two directors for the Han Solo Star Wars standalone film.
I heard that there was controversy, but
Yeah, absolutely. Controversy that has gone to the point of they were fired. Star Wars directors, what's-his-face and what's-his-face, I will look them up on IMDb, were fired and replaced by Ron Howard from the Han Solo. But the reason why I'm glad you guys mentioned this young Han Solo movie is because even with problems on the production, even with Lawrence Kasdan allegedly coming in and saying every word of the script is going to be filmed. What is on the page is going to be what you shoot. And they want to get their actors, they had a different style.
Yeah.
They wanted their actors to improvise and fly off the cuff, away from the script, and do some improvisational style comedy and stuff to have character moments happen. And it was so not what they wanted. So here comes Lawrence Kasdan, and here comes Kathleen Kennedy, and all these people, and fire these two boys off the Star Wars film, and half the movie's in the can. And now here comes Ron Howard, and he's going to shoot a couple more months of extra stuff, and they're going to redo things. And I mean, I love Ron Howard as a director. Many of his films are like amazing, amazing, amazing. Like, gosh, you know, Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind. Frost Nixon is one of my favorite films. And you know what? A guilty pleasure that I really enjoy, The Da Vinci Code. I love all those stupid Dan Brown things that Ron Howard directs. Should we not mention Willow? Okay, the big fantasy 1980s thing.
Stuart Townsend, they filmed a bunch of stuff and then he got axed.
It's interesting, you know, the whole thing. But now, I love Ron Howard, but I would have liked to have seen that the original guys from the Lego movie, I would have liked to have seen them actually finish the job that they started. The reason why I say that is because I would have liked to have seen Guillermo del Toro to finish the job that he started. You know, it's what would his Hobbit movie have been like? We'll never know.
Very dark, probably.
Probably weird. Allegedly, he was going to have Beorn's house walking around on chicken legs, like Baba Yaga's walking hut. The hut of Baba Yaga would suddenly invade Beorn's house. That would be... Okay, hold on. Let's look this up. Thank you, IMDb, for giving me instant answers when I need it. On my phone app. Again, I'm supposed to be looking at the camera, supposed to be talking to these people. You have a big subject of fascination. We're going to talk about that. But here it is. Lego Movie, 2014. Directed by these two guys. Yes, Phil Lord and what's his face? Yeah, that's him. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. So thank you for reminding me, Internet, that it was Phil Lord and Christopher Miller who just got fired off the Star Wars Han Solo film. And now someone else has to finish the job.
So it's just basically out of creative differences.
Yeah, very specific creative differences. They had a way they wanted to do it, and the producers had a way that they insisted it be done because it's the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And, okay, you're walking into someone else's shoes. Like, Rian Johnson. And I love me some... Maybe it's pronounced Ryan. Okay, Rian Johnson, the director of Looper. You know, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. What a fantastic film. And, of course, Brick. Here comes Rian Johnson, and he's just finished wrapping up Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. And we're going to get Episode 8, The Last Jedi, released in theaters this coming December. Looking forward to it. The next step in the Skywalker saga. And the very last film that we'll ever have with Carrie Fisher in it. And heart is broken. Like, broken... heart, really broken. So, but this is it. Rian Johnson comes in, and he gets hired by Kathleen Kennedy, and he gets the job done with no stickiness, no conflict, no weirdness. He doesn't get fired. He gets the job done, and everyone says they're having a great time. It's a great experience. Hey, good to see you, Spirited Book. Nice to have you there. And why couldn't it be with these guys? Why couldn't they just leave them alone, let them finish their job, and finish what they did? You know, like... Anyways, like it's been J.J. Abrams, right, who did The Force Awakens. It'll be director Rian Johnson, or I call him Rian Johnson. And he'll be directing what's about to be released this winter, The Last Jedi. Okay, so that's episode 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got someone else they're going to bring in. And the other person, one of the directors, the director from Rogue One, he got pushed off at the end, and then they re-edited and shot new shots. And put new shots into... the end of Rogue One, which is why most of what you see in Rogue One in the trailer, you don't even see in the movie. You see stuff in the movie that is completely different from shots you saw in the trailers.
I feel bad about saying this, but I didn't really like Rogue One all that much.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was nifty. I thought it was quite a nifty and enjoyable film.
It was alright. I mean, like, it wasn't, like,
I enjoyed it.
It wasn't terrible.
You didn't get misty? Because I did.
But...
Oh, teary-eyed right here.
Oh, no.
At the end. I got a little teary-eyed.
I was with a friend and his family, and they all kind of got teary-eyed, especially the mom.
Yeah?
I'm like...
and you were like, wait, what?
No, I mean, like, I knew what was going on. I was just like, okay.
Okay, yeah. Here's the thing. I'm only going to talk a few more minutes about why the young Han Solo film is on my mind. Mm-hmm. And it's in the world of a big franchise, and I understand that lead producer Kathleen Kennedy and other people are interested in getting a specific alignment with the existing Star Wars universe, which is under scrutiny by the largest, most obsessive fan base in the world, who come at the property with a sense of ownership. These fans, like Ringer fans are known to do, they come at the property with a sense of ownership. Mm-hmm. It's the truth, like it or not. So anybody who steps into that world, like J.J. Abrams did, and, stepping into George Lucas's world and wants to take over the creative vision, you're going to be up against it. You really are. I understand that. But why wouldn't you just let them finish what they started? It is so rare to fire a director when things are even at that point. And it is particularly unwanted publicity for something so high profile as Star Wars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, now here's where we're at. The success of $1 billion at least, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not a full $1 billion, that's how much money is at stake. With the popularity of the young adventures of young Han Solo. We get to figure out who he was before the cynical, selfish, but charming fellow that we met in Star Wars. We get to see the young version. You see where I'm going with this, guys? How about the young Aragorn?
Quite a bit of hype.
How about the young Legolas movie that Ringer fans are waiting for? Guess what, Warner Brothers Pictures? There's $1 billion at stake. You make the film, you'll make $1 billion. It's the same thing as Star Wars. It is a huge franchise with the most obsessive, most involved fans. How about us Lord of the Rings fans get something out of the appendix, all the stories in the back pages of The Return of the King, which you guys, Warner Brothers, have license to have, and you can produce it to make it something? What do you think? If the success of the Star Wars offshoot film for young Han Solo's adventures, if it is boffo, huge box office, I guarantee it won't be long before some brainiac at Warner Brothers Pictures puts pen to paper and starts to cultivate what happened with young Aragorn. Why did his mom, Gilraen, take him to refuge in Rivendell to be protected? What kind of threat was she under, with everybody else in her family lineage dead and her trying to save the last line of Numenor? What about the young adventures of young Aragorn and the twin sons of Elrond? Get it? Eladan and Elrohir? Wouldn't that be cool to see all of them running around having adventures? What about the hunt for Gollum? There's so much stuff that could be stuffed into a big, awesome movie.
I think, nonetheless, they should give
think?
it, like, they should give it its own movie, nonetheless, even if it doesn't do well, because, I mean, my opinion, Tolkien is much bigger than Star Wars, to some degree, you know?
Ooh!
Much bigger.
Throwing down the gauntlet.
I'm just saying.
Continue.
I mean, because, like, with Star Wars, it's been around for, long time. I don't know how exactly.
Let's count from 1977 to 2017. 40 years?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Because math.
But,
math.
But, like, with Tolkien's works has been around for much longer than that. And I mean, like, you can see it.
That's true.
With J.K. Rowling's work, heavily influenced. And I mean, that in itself is a big franchise.
Yeah, what is a Horcrux? It's a ring. It's the one ring of it. Where does an evil Dark Lord put a big part of his soul and his consciousness and his willpower inside a magical artifact?
Who's the chosen one that only he can bear the burden?
Yep. I like where you're going.
I mean, I know that the 20-year anniversary of Harry Potter was yesterday, but I gotta say.
We're in this summer, right now where we are in June, it's the 40-year anniversary of Star Wars, 20-year anniversary of Harry Potter, but you're right, Tolkien goes much farther back.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, if you look at a bunch of, like, pop culture in general, like, even,
Hey, David. That was my friend David. My friend David from Dragon Dice.
Oh.
And all my friends are
Hola.
on Facebook. Hello.
George R.R. Martin. You know, I've never read No, I lied. I've read a little bit of Game of Thrones, but, I mean, you know, he kind of, I'm not gonna say, like, took, but was inspired by Tolkien as well.
Heavily. Yeah. He was also inspired by ancient history, like real moments and huge episodes of European warfare and history between feuding royal families. And Tolkien as well.
Yeah.
Why? Because the success of Tolkien in the fantasy bookstore was the reason why there is a sci-fi and fantasy section in bookstores. That never happened. Did you know that?
No.
Retailers, bookstores around the world never had a section of dedicated fantasy and sci-fi until the success of The Lord of the Rings.
That's interesting.
And what happened then? A huge industry exploded with other writers and everybody coming in saying, oh, I can write huge fantasy stories. And George R.R. Martin.
J.K. Rowling. And later. But
Terry Brooks. I love Terry Brooks, but, you know, his Sword of Shannara, which was also, you know, tied in with the Elfstones of Shannara, and the Wish Song of Shannara, and the Scions of Shannara, and that whole many, many book series. Where'd all that come from?
Tolkien.
Boom. Boom. So, very smart, very observant. This young lady has very adroitly observed.
Might I say, I'm
kernel of
only
truth.
16, soon to be 17. That's useless information, but...
Yes. There, you know, the modern fantasy from late 20th century writers, it came from the success of, you know, what was paved originally by L. Frank Baum and the Oz books. And then the popularity of C.S. Lewis's books and Tolkien's books. And then all of a sudden, everything just grew out. And there were so many writers that appeared. And female writers like Ursula K. Le Guin, who found themselves operating in the space, were publishing companies, publishers were like, yeah, give us some more of these high-end romantic fantasy series. Let's do it. It's great. It even became such a publishing phenomenon that a game company, the company that made Dungeons and Dragons in the late 70s and early 80s, they were called TSR. They created the Dragonlance fantasy book series, one of the most popular and enduring fantasy book series based on what? Some tabletop game that they had. I mean, the marketplace just blew open. So, I'm telling Warner Brothers, and I think someone out there might listen, if you're going to make a young Adventures of Han Solo, and if there was a TV series back in the 80s, which was the Young Indiana Jones, with
that
Baby River Phoenix, right? Right? Oh my gosh. Why can't we have a young Aragorn, you know, being rescued from a fate he shouldn't have had?
And if you need a director,
boom, boom, boom.
I'm right here.
You need awesome young directors with a vision. Warner Brothers, talk to her. Okay.
Come in contact with me, please.
I'm really, thank you. Thank you, Everett. I appreciate that. But, and don't forget Dune. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Of course, Dune was operating in a space where Isaac Asimov and other writers, you know, Robert Heinlein, they all had the place blow up. I mean, the publishing fantasy. I'm only going to talk about this for 1 second because it leads into your subject. That's what Tolkien means to me in my generation, is the expansion of everybody's appetite for good fantasy storytelling and science fiction, and the way everything in our culture was like, it was all new. All fantasy geeks were a new breed of kids. It was like a whole new thing.
Yeah.
To have pencil and paper games in the late 70s and early 80s, and to have, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, and to have, you know, all that stuff that happened in the 60s was the moment when it all happened for college kids in America, you know. Now, I'm interested in Hannah being on our show today to talk about what J.R.R. Tolkien means to her generation.
Okay.
To me, being a kid in the 70s and 80s, it was just the novelty of it. We were all brand new to enjoy this stuff. It was the advent of geeks. And boy, were we bullied. We were beaten up. We were made fun of. And now being a geek is a badge of pride now.
Well, to
being a geek
some
is
degree, to some
great-
degree.
Oh my gosh, there's multi-million-dollar subculture around being a geek now.
Well, to springboard half of what you were saying is, it seems like your generation clings much more to it. Like, it means a lot to them, right? Like,
That's
the
why.
majority.
Because we were the first. We
Yeah.
were the first men on
You
the
guys
moon.
were you guys were the first. It gave you guys inspiration, and then
Mm.
from that, like with Peter Jackson, he liked those books. He made them.
Boom.
He
Boom.
made the movies.
Yeah.
There you go.
Doesn't he tell a story about being on a boring, long train ride, and because
Oh,
he was...
I've never heard this one.
Yeah, Jackson was so inspired by Ralph Bakshi's film, it was 78. 1978, United Artists releases that psychedelic, crazy Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And Peter Jackson and all of his friends and college buddies are all picking up to read the Lord of the Rings. And he's found himself on a long train ride, and he got into it. And he says that's how he got into it, reading it while he was on a long journey.
I did not know that.
Oh, it's a great book to read when you're on a long journey.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love it, yeah. So how about you? When did you first encounter The Rings or The Hobbit?
First.
Tell me.
First.
Tell the world.
Okay, first was probably when I was about, I don't know, 2 to 3 years old. My older cousin, Isaac, who's like my Mary, because we're still very close to each other.
Mary, Doc, and Peregrine?
But he was obsessed with Lord of the Rings.
You stick it in the ground. This was your idea?
But like, no. But he was obsessed with it. Absolutely obsessed with it.
The books?
No, movies.
The movies?
Because he was like, he's 3 years older than me, so he could have been around 5 or 6 years old at this time.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah. And he was watching Fellowship of the Ring. It was in the Mines of Moria. But that was the first time I encountered it, like, ever.
You were just a baby.
Yeah, I was like 2 or 3 years old, but it was such a prominent memory to me.
Really?
Because of the cave troll. That's the only reason why.
You were that young baby and remember the visuals of
Yeah.
that film.
Yeah.
Wow. Gosh, when I was a 2-year-old baby, the earliest memory I have is a wooden toy clock. It was a clock that had a music box in it. When you wound it up and the dials moved around and it played a little song. It was just a baby toy. It was a wooden clock. Fisher Price, actually. It was made by Fisher Price. Ancient history. And I remember a wooden clock that played music as a baby. She remembers a cave troll bursting into the room and like attacking everyone
Well,
as a
no,
baby.
it was when, like, Frodo's like... That's
Really?
literally my earliest memory. Probably my earliest memory.
Was Elijah Wood dodging the cave troll?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my earliest memory to date right now that I can think of.
Shut up, Dallas. Dallas, you're funny. You're very
like
funny.
clocks.
Shut up, Dallas. I'm gonna buy you a drink when you get here to Los Angeles.
No, but like, for my... But
Really?
yeah, when I really started getting into it, though, I was about 9 years old.
Okay, and did mom or dad say, I don't know about you watching this PG-13 movie, or...
Well, I think my mom did, just because of, like, I don't know.
There was a lot of battle scenes and stuff.
But it was my dad who showed me. He was, yeah, I remember distinctly, he was, like, cleaning out his closet, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And then he's all like, hey, come here.
Really? Okay, cool
Okay.
dad. Yeah, he's a very cool
Yeah.
dad. I've met him many times.
He's tall.
He's a tall
scary.
drink of water, as they say in Chicago.
Massive.
Yeah, he's a tall guy. I mean,
But-
it's so cool. So he knew the story.
Yeah,
He liked it, and he wanted to
Yeah.
introduce you to it again.
yeah. So, like...
So cool.
It was a theatrical release. So he's
Yeah.
like, hey, come here. What do you think of this? And at the time, I mean, like, I was a really big Star Wars fan. And
Yeah.
I watched Revenge of the Sith
Yeah,
when I was really young.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but, so
Okay.
he's like, what do you think of this? I was like, I don't know about that guy. And I, like, pointed to Gollum. And he's all like, hey, you want to watch this? And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, how long is it? And he's all like, it's not that long. It's not that long. I'm like, okay. So we lie down in my parents' bed because they had a TV in their room. So he put on Fellowship of the Ring, and my memory's a little dodgy from it. All I remember is that I wasn't scared of the scene that everybody gets scared of Bilbo going, ah, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't get scared of that. I got scared of the Nazgul.
I dropped my popcorn when that happened. I did. I also dropped my popcorn, literally spilled my drink, when that spider jumps up on that branch in the Desolation of Smaug and gets right in Bilbo's face. I literally spilled my soda. Thank you, Peter Jackson.
I was terrified. Like, again, as you know, huge arachnophobe. Kyle, you know?
That's right, Kyle.
He
you know
knows.
better,
He sent me a picture of a giant freaking tarantula. He was like, hey, I found something for you. I hate you. But anyway, I don't actually hate you, Kyle.
We love you, Kyle.
It's just for that.
It's a love-hate thing. Okay, so that was your first encounter with it, with a bizarre early infant memory of a cave troll.
Yeah.
A somewhat surreal experience with Dad lying to you, saying it's not that long, and you're like, and you sat down and watched it, yeah?
I'm like...
So you picked it up midway through the film.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
I mean, the only thing I was scared of were Nazgul. But I have really dodgy memory. All I remember is that I got scared of that, and I couldn't tell Merry and Pippin apart. I was like, wait, which one is which? I'm like, are these guys midgets? But the thing is, I remember liking it afterwards. Like asking my dad, hey, can we watch, is there another movie we can watch? And then he's all like, yeah, we'll watch it tomorrow, though. I'm like, tomorrow night? And this was, oh gosh, this was in April. Or May. It was in April or May. No. It was in March. It was in March when I watched it. But he was like, yeah, we'll watch it tomorrow night. And I was like, okay. And I was like really antsy the entire day about it. I remember that. I don't remember any of my reactions to Two Towers. I don't remember anything from that.
Oh, okay.
But I do remember telling my friends, or like calling them, or I don't know if this was after or before, or like in between, that I was watching Lord of the Rings. And I remember I got flack for that at like 9 years old, but...
yeah, still 9 years old experiencing the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Theatrical versions.
Yeah.
At home.
Yes.
Okay.
But the next thing that I remember with The Return of the King was at the very end, you know, like the multiple endings, just crying. Just crying and crying and crying. Because my dad was like, that's it? And I'm like, that's not it. Where's... Because I was used to, like, the multiple movies, like with Star Wars, Indiana Jones, all that.
And then you knew it was over.
And then, no, I didn't know it was over. I was like, okay, let's pop in the next one. And he's like, nah, it's over. There's no more.
That's it.
What?
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
But yeah, so...
Oh, we are getting a lot of text messages on the hotline, so that was your first encounter.
Yeah,
with,
formal.
Okay, and how did this hit you? Because it's become part of how your generation has absorbed it, is infinitely tied into Peter Jackson's vision in a way. In a way.
You know,
they're inextricable. Is that the word? Fancy 50-cent word. What do you think?
I think
you tell me. You're about to tell me the impact of J.R.R. Tolkien on
my generation.
On your generation. Ultimately, my next question is: how long from that 9-year-old girl, wide-eyed, experiencing the movies? How long before that 9-year-old girl cracked open a book to read?
Probably, I think, 12 or 11, around that time. It was very
couple
close.
Years hence.
Yeah, because for myself, I struggle with really severe dyslexia, so it's, you know, it's always been hard for me to read.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my dad was, because, like, I was really, really into it, and then because of my friends, like, the backlash, like, I kind of was like, oh, okay, you know.
Your friends give you a backlash for being into it?
Yeah, because they're like, oh, you're such a nerd, and I'm like...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I remember that, and then I remember... because my dad really liked to read to us.
See, Tiffany says I raised my kids on Tolkien. Excellent.
Yes.
Good job,
That's the
Tiffany.
only way how to go.
Good job, Tiffany. That's fantastic. Yes. and everyone's chatting. They're having a lot of interesting, I encountered the cartoon. Thank you. Okay, Annika says, I encountered the cartoon to Lord of the Rings when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and my auntie read The Hobbit to me while babysitting when I was 3 or 4. Oh, that's a great way to...
That's good.
That's wonderful. And everyone, of course, everyone agrees. Thank you, JC. I'm also with you on that. I would have loved to see Guillermo del Toro's version of The Hobbit, just to see what strangeness and offbeat things he would have done. But interesting. Hey, Neil? Oh, no, Nell, excuse me. Nell says, I cried at the coronation of Aragorn, and I cried when Frodo left the Shire to go to the Grey Havens.
I still do, too. It's okay.
Yeah,
After thousands of times, or millions upon millions, it still gets me.
We still do.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about, Tolkien's legacy? You got into the books, and you started to understand the bigger background of Tolkien fans by that time.
Well, on my generation, I'm sad to say from my experiences, they don't exactly receive it well, because I think it's just because they don't understand it. In my generation, it seems like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything.
No.
They have much shorter attention spans.
That's not mean. That's
No.
a fact. That is a proven fact. Researchers have totally... Hey, congratulations, Spirited Book, on your upcoming graduation.
No, he
wow,
did
it's only
graduate
a couple... Oh, congratulations. That is so fantastic.
I wish I could get out of high school.
No, back to the point you were just saying. Spirited Book, you're interrupting. Sorry, buddy. Really?
Yeah, so, I mean, like, if I bring it up to people at school, or just in general, if I'm around people my own age, they'll be like, one of two things. Oh, what's that? And I'm like, Lord of the Rings. That's the author who did Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. They're like, oh, okay. That's cool. That, or they're like, oh, yeah! One does not simply walk into Mordor. Okay. Okay, I have a little rant
So it's
here.
it's like feast or famine with some of these kids these days? Because when I go to San Diego Comic-Con and WonderCon, we meet young kids at these events. They all love it. They all love this stuff. But, they are tied into it with Peter Jackson's version. They see it before they read it.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's happening.
It's just...
But the level of engagement, you're telling me you're finding less people your age are mentally engaged with just reading in general?
Well, I mean, just like, I think... Because, they do read. But it's like all these young adult novels. Like, stuff kind of like Twilight. Or
Maze Runner, Twilight.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, Percy Jackson.
Yeah, pardon my awful throat there.
That's okay. It was a good concert, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Screaming, crying. I wasn't crying. But that's okay. That's all right.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna take a coffee.
No, I will take your word for it. Since I'm not constantly, hanging around, I'm not a high school teacher. I sometimes teach chess to an after-school program here in Hollywood, but very different age groups with the kids who are in my class. But to be around teenagers who are like absorbing certain popular culture, you would know better than I. You tell me what kind of pop culture they're really absorbing.
Definitely, like you said, the Maze Runner, like Hunger Games, like stuff like that.
All YA novels.
A lot of stuff like that.
And Harry Potter, too.
Yeah, I mean, like...
So they're not going further back to older books? Like Narnia and Lord of the Rings and stuff?
It's just, it's sad. It's really, I mean,
that's
interesting. It's sad to me.
Really?
But,
Hey, I would, Janessa. Thank you, Janessa.
Should.
That's a pretty good idea. Janessa in the Instagram chat, and thank you for joining us, Instagrammers. She says, I should teach a Tolkien mythology class. That would be really, really cool.
You would be really good at it.
But they already have real professional academics, like Dr. Jane Chance, who teaches at Rice University in Texas, and a few other really talented academic professors, real professors, who know more than me, who are more qualified than me. So
more qualified than you.
Yeah, there are people who are already doing a great job being academic teachers of Tolkien at different colleges around America, and in the UK, of course. You guys look up Kyle Pedley, one of our friends on Instagram and Twitter. He's with the Tolkien Society group in the United Kingdom. He's a really cool guy. and a very smart fellow. So, hey, Orphic Dreams says, I remember being 9 years when I heard of Lord of the Rings. I thought it was video games, World of Warcraft or something. Well, guess what?
Well,
You learned it differently. It is, though. There's also, you know, people on the chat today have said they want to see the video game Shadows of Mordor developed and produced into a series.
that would be
Yeah,
interesting.
that's from the video game. It's not even from Tolkien. But yeah. Hello, Lefterono. How you doing, Lefterono? Welcome to our Instagram. This is, by the way, this is the OneRing.net. You guys are watching Torn Tuesday.
Yes.
And this is Clifford with Hannah.
I
So Hannah is giving us a sociological viewpoint of the impact of Tolkien on this next generation. What are you guys called? Post-millennials now?
Oh,
Or
I
are you
don't
real
know.
millennials?
It's like no. Millennials are like 20 and 30 years old.
They
I
are
think, yeah.
now. They are
Yeah.
now.
Well, yeah. I think we're called like Generation Z or something. It is something like that. I'm not so sure because you guys are Generation X.
At a point, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
I was definitely Generation X. Definitely.
yeah. Well, I mean, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah, man.
But
Yeah, man. I
yeah,
know what
it's
you're
all,
trying to
it's
say.
all good.
I was there for the birth of 90s house music in Chicago. I was, you know, a teenager right when grunge music
I
hit the
wasn't
scene.
alive.
You weren't even
Wasn't even.
a sparkle in your father's eye.
Yeah.
Not even that.
Exactly.
And how about that? Here we are. Here we are. Aren't we lucky to be here? Everybody's like, oh my God, I'm so old. That's so funny
No,
one.
It's okay.
Let's see. Now, let's see. Greetings and salutations, fantasies and fairy tales. Good to have you. Nell Stranahan has just asked us in the IG chat, what's your advice about understanding Tolkien's work? Glad you asked that. We're in the middle of this conversation right now. If you think that your generation is not understanding Tolkien's work, do you think it would help a bit, maybe, if they picked up the damn thing and read it?
Well,
Do English classes, do English teachers give it, like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, as
No.
right as English assignments?
No, I've talked to my English teachers about it, and they're like, no, I don't
Really?
think so.
Because when
we
I was in
always
English
read,
lit, we got stuck with a lot of books, including Tolkien. In
I
our,
mean, like we get books.
yeah.
We've gotten four Ray Bradbury books.
Ray Bradbury. Okay, yeah. Dandelion Wine.
He's good.
He's
4 and 5.
He's really good. He's
I
really
don't know
good.
how to speak. We've gotten The Great Gatsby. We've gotten
Nice. F. Scott Fitzgerald.
a few other ones, but
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno as well. Nobody understood that except for a few course friends and myself, which it was fun. We did final on that. That was amazing. I got to create my own hell and layers and heaven and all
I
that.
kind of dig that. I
It
actually
was
like the
great.
Divine Comedy. I think
It
it's
was great.
It's interesting. That was political satire of its day.
Yeah.
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 Like
Also,
hardcore.
one of my favorite books.
Yeah, yeah, it's lovely. The language, oh my gosh, the poetry. You know what? An English-speaking person's appreciation of Dante is really dependent on the translation you get. Some of them rhyme and keep a poetic meter. Some of them don't rhyme and they go for like straight English. It depends upon your translation. Hey, everybody! Hi, Marfles. How you
Hola.
doing? Oh my gosh! Now, Sandra Nesbitt says, I still know plenty of people in their 40s and 50s who have not read it or seen it. Orwell, yes, Annika. I had George Orwell when I was in English lit class.
Oh, I like George Orwell. He's good.
Yeah, George Orwell is amazing. Oh, look at all these questions we've got. Oh, here you go. Hannah, our experience in the Tolkien's works movies. This is from Arowana Undomiel in our Ustream chat. She continues to say, I was 2 years old when I saw it in 2001 and read the books in 3rd grade in school. And when I was a child, my classmates gave me backlash because they didn't understand why I liked it. And I got bullied. But that made me stronger. And now those bullies have watched and read the books, and now we're all friends. Nice. That's really, really nice.
That's cool.
See? You
Like-
can open up people's minds with opening up a book. Really, really, you can.
Like I like when that kind of thing happens, where it's like, oh, this person used to pick on me, now we're friends, blah blah blah. But like with the people that did it to me, like I'm not even gonna get into it. It's just Want
Okay.
nothing to do with them.
Okay, but you think it might be time for like for them to like get a new version of Tolkien? What if there was like a whole new like young adult version of Tolkien books?
Oh no.
Would that be something they'd pick up and read?
Yeah, but
I know it's a
like,
horrible
that would be
idea.
horrible.
I know it would be the most
That
horrible
would-
thing ever.
That would take from what makes Tolkien Tolkien.
Yeah, it would.
I mean,
Tolkien.
to answer your question, yes. But they wouldn't get the real Tolkien. They would get some like
Well, yeah.
organic, knockoff, relevant. Look at me, haha, Tolkien.
Okay.
Sorry, I got like real passionate there.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, I was not advocating it. I was just saying.
No, yeah, I
was
know.
just saying, are they
Yeah.
so addicted to modern YA series
Yeah.
that the only way they're going to get into this fantasy world is if there's another series like that in front of them to consume? It's about consumption of written work as much as it is about the written work speaking to a generation of people. I don't know why there aren't more kids in your experience, your age, in your graduating class, and you too, Spirited Book, in your graduating class.
Even though you just graduated.
I don't know why there aren't more kids like you who greedily devour J.R.R. Tolkien as much as they did Harry Potter books. Like, snap them up and read them. I would have figured that the huge success of Harry Potter's books and all kids your age reading them over the past 20 years, even at different ages, I thought that would have been a key element for them picking up The Hobbit and reading more, getting into Lord of the Rings too.
Well, I think what it is, in my opinion, is that two things. One,
Yeah.
Harry Potter is a children's book. Like, book
At the
series.
beginning, only at the beginning.
Well, I mean, still. But, I mean, The Hobbit is also as well.
Yeah, only at the beginning, and then like they
But yeah,
share
I mean,
that
like,
quality.
It gradually gets grittier. But the thing is, I think with J.K. Rowling, she makes it so where the average person can understand what is going on. But with Tolkien, I mean, he was an Oxford professor. So, he obviously... This sounds rude. I mean, wrote much more intelligently and much more complicated. Complicated, let's go with that. Complicated. But also what I think is also, with Harry Potter, and like with Chronicles of Narnia, in my opinion, it's much more easier to get the whole message. And like, the allegories? Yeah, allegories. Just with everything, right? It's much more easier to understand. If you're just reading it and, like, skimming through... Well, not skimming through, but, just reading it, like, oh...
Well, I would say that J.K. Rowling constitutes light reading compared to Tolkien. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, are you telling me there's a generational dumbing down that has been happening?
I wouldn't say dumbing down, it's
this
just...
is interesting.
It's... I just think that people nowadays can't think for themselves and they have to have their hand held. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, outrageous cynicism. But also,
I know, I'm being cynical here, I know.
Also, you might actually have something. As much as that observation might be, an 800-pound gorilla in the room right now, it is there's probably some truth to it. But I see, brighter-eyed, smarter, intelligent, younger people around me all the time. We talk about star children and crystal children who are the younger generation that have way advanced brain capacities, and it feeds into the conspiracy theories of how long before we get mutated genes and we start to have kids who have telekinesis. The tomorrow people. The tomorrow people are coming. Oh, I made a 1960s reference.
Oh my gosh.
Or 70s reference. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I think that people there are equal parts of these things going on. There has been a systemic dumbing down of a whole generation of Americans because of lacking public school system, lacking education, lacking
And home
unnecessary
life as well.
lacking, and a big combination of those elements.
Yeah.
And
I mean, with the home life, you can't really do anything about that.
Yeah, what can you
but,
do?
I mean,
But-
it is a factor, definitely.
Yeah, access to resources.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But then again, at the same time I've seen those systemic problems, I've also seen smarter and smarter and smarter people rise to the top. The cream always rises to the top, as they say. So,
I think
I guess I've been exposed at some level in the places where I've been in the world. I've been exposed to some of the brighter minds of our future.
I think also what it is.
And they are all picking up Tolkien, that's for sure. They're all in love with Tolkien. That's definitely for sure.
I think also what it is that with each generation and new wave of people throughout all of humankind.
Yeah.
We just get, like climbing the ladder, climbing the stairs. We just get more and more and more advanced in some aspects. In other aspects, we go down.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. See? Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, my gosh. We're, like, totally getting love symbols, lots of love hearts. Thank you. Yes, people are in the Instagram chat having their own little conversation about Galadriel being a total
they're
badass.
talking about
Yes, she is.
Feminism.
Randall Lehman says, I think the theme transcends modern times, right? You have, in layman terms, technology, Mordor, is nature's or Middle Earth's foe. You can see our society becoming generally more focused on the material world, the industry versus the more natural. Ah, yes. See?
Definitely.
Yeah. Applicability. That's very intriguing. Very intriguing.
Definitely.
You know, Professor Tolkien talked about that all the time. The difference between, allegory and applicability. Jean Bourgeois says, I was formally introduced to Tolkien when I was 18. The Hobbit was picked for my language arts class to read, but my first actual encounter with Tolkien was when I was probably around 8 or 9 when I saw the small bits of the Rankin and Bass Return of the King. Yeah, the animated Return of the King.
Wait, was it the part where they're like, where there's a whip?
There's a way.
I have that
where
song
there's
on
a
my
whip.
phone.
There's a way, left, right, left, right. Where there's a whip, there's a way, left, right. A crack on the back says we're gonna fight. We're gonna march all day and night and more. 'Cause we are the slaves of the Dark Lord's war. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Waka, 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 waka. Where there's a whip.
I actually, funny story about that song.
I love that. It's so great. Sorry, guys. I had to do it.
I got my friend into that song. He loves it now, but he hates, I don't know if he hates. I mean, he said that he hates everything Tolkien.
It's something you love to hate sometimes.
No, I mean, he says he loves the song.
Yes.
But he hates Tolkien. And
really?
I'm pretty sure it's just a mess with me.
Yeah, sounds like a friend messing with you, yes.
I'm like...
That is a friend messing with you. Hello, Pippin of Minnesota, in the Ustream chat.
Hello.
I think some of this has to do with screen time. The younger the generation, the sooner they get connected to screens and don't feel the need to read something to challenge their mind. Oh, excellent point. Excellent observation. So, are these little fun gadgets, these tablets and devices, are these interfering with our ability to actually pick up a book? I mean, look at that. There's Star Trek The Next Generation, where Jean-Luc Picard, played by the estimable Patrick Stewart, he's so addicted to this paper book, Shakespeare's, collected works. And everybody...
I've never seen Star Trek, so...
Well, just imagine, you're in the 24th century and everyone's using data pads. Everyone is using a data pad, which is like generations before we figured out that we're going to get iPads and tablets. And so everyone's reading all their books, reading their novels on a data pad, and he's the one holdout. Jean-Luc Picard, the one holdout who sticks to paper, a leather-bound book of Shakespeare. And it's like that's his, one objet d'art that's in his captain's quarters, and it's like really interesting that are we moving to that world where these tablets are interfering with a generation of people that don't know how to read or can't be bothered to read?
Illiterate.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. Let's do a quick poll. You're on the live chat. Send us a text message on the hotline, 530, number 6, number 4, F-R-O-D-O. For Frodo. Okay, 530-64-F-R-O-D-O. Send us a text message and say, in answer to this question, you're the new generation of Tolkien reader. Imagine you've never read it before. You're the new generation.
Fresh,
What are you going to do?
wide-eyed.
What are you going to do? The question is, are you going to read The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings on your Kindle, on your Nook, or are you going to read it out of these beautiful red pages? 1,200 pages combined. The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King, and maps and appendices, all here. What are you going to do? Quick poll. Say whether you're going to read it on a Kindle or you're going to read it on paper. All you guys, Facebook chat, Ustream chat.
Go for it.
Let's see. Just pretend this is a litmus test for what the next generation is about to do. Because now we're up against it. Technology is changing the way we digest everything in fantasy and science fiction popular culture. So what would you do? Would you read it on paper? Pretend you're a newbie. Or you're going to read it on a data pad or on a Nook. What are they saying? Oh, look, see? People are saying, I'll start with the Silmarillion. Thank you, Marfles. Marfles isn't even going to start with The Hobbit. Okay? Focoena says that she would use a tablet or an e-reader for the novel.
Eravandi says, I want the shiny book. Grab your hands.
I can't pay attention to reading from a screen, so I would say paper. All right, there you go. That's good.
Yeah, same here.
There you go.
For myself, if it depends on the book, I use audiobook because, like I mentioned before,
nice.
Dyslexia, because it's a little hard for me to read.
Books are intimidating to today's generation. Do you agree with that assessment? We're getting notes on the hotline.
It depends. It depends on what kind of book.
Okay.
Like if it's something like this, and if you were to go to my
there
high
are more
school,
pages in the Harry Potter books.
I know.
Than this.
If you go to my high school,
but of course it's a smaller page with a lot less.
Or like just a high school in general, or middle school, or whatever, and be like, hey.
Oh hey, here you go.
We go.
Modern technology. This person says no time for reading, only Audible. Audible or movies. That's right. There are a lot of people who live a very busy lifestyle. They don't have time to read, so they're driving and they have Audible. They have the audiobook in their car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I get that.
Okay.
I get that. Or if if it's hard for you to read, or you're blind,
Okay. Pipske says the book on paper. The best way to read it is when you read for the first time. Thank you, Pipske.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, that's very good. We're getting a lot of responses. Let's see. Eravandi says, seriously, Cliff, where did you get that red cover copy of the book? Well, this is the original combined edition from Houghton Mifflin Company. See, HMCO, with J.R.R. Tolkien's original designs in gold, blue, and green. Beautiful foil on the red leatherette. And it's called the Red Letter Edition because chapter titles and book titles at the very top are in red ink on every, and of course the page numbers. Page numbers are in red ink. And it's a gorgeous edition. It combines all three books. And I got it originally at at Barnes & Noble.
Oh, really?
I got this originally at Barnes & Noble.
Huh.
Yeah.
How much did it run for?
It was like a $70 book or something. Okay, hey, Sarah. Nice to see you, Sarah. Sarah says, I'd probably hear the Audible version or read on my phone because I'd always have it on me. Okay, see? So some people are really open to the idea of absorbing Tolkien in other formats besides the page. J.C. Arana says, book. Scott Weir says, is there a good audiobook of the Silmarillion?
There's one in German.
Yeah, but not until I record one. Not until I record the next audiobook of the Silmarillion. That's my project, which is mine. Yes, we can do that.
I'm just kidding. You heard me read out loud at WonderCon. That was a mess.
Pete Northrunner says, I only read when I'm eating lunch or waiting in a doctor's office. The main advantage in ebooks to me is the highlighting feature. And my dad owned that big red... Oh, your dad had this big red edition? Yeah, that's awesome. This is really, really good stuff.
He's putting GIFs on the screen right here. Like... right there.
MEOC 122 says, I have an issue. I will buy the books, but not read my copies. I would grab the same copies from the library so that my books stays crisp. I love that. OCD life, man. I dig that. You want to keep your books nice and crisp and clean. Oh, yeah. Hey, Alan William Penner, find me on Instagram, buddy. I'm QuickBeam2000. QUICKBEAM 2000. I'm glad you're a recording engineer. I would love to get permission from the publishers and do the next audiobook of the Silmarillion. Eruano Undomiel says, Eru, I got the same book as Cliff. Oh, see?
Yeah, I finally noticed the gifts, Sarah.
Yeah. Okay, what else we got here? Alan says, I think technology helps the literature out there further and faster. Once you're in it, you're in the world, not the paper and the phone. Okay, so at that point when you're in the world of reading it, the technology, the delivery of the page doesn't matter. You're in Middle-earth. Ah. What's this? Yes, thank you, Janessa.
For
Absolutely.
myself, whenever I read Tolkien,
So awesome.
like, I like to put it on the soundtrack on my phone and, like, listen to it and, like, read it.
See, Jean Bourgeois says, I want my books on paper. You, all right, I'll ask the same question to you.
Okay.
Because you and I, we're going to reread The Lord of the Rings,
Oh.
like we always do. So next time you read it, are you going to try to find a big mega edition? Or are you going to try to go for your Kindle or your Nook or what?
Well, since I already have the books,
You're going to read your own copies. Are they
yeah, I'm
paperback?
reading- Yeah.
Okay, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do the books, but if I'm traveling or in the car, then I'm gonna do like the audiobooks, which I have the audiobooks, or if I'm like working, because that's what I do as well. I'll listen to audiobooks when I work and like write emails or like do whatever, but or homework. But again, context wise, it depends, but definitely the books.
Okay, okay.
You heard it first.
It's Aravandi says, Dear sweet mother of mercy, the red cover Lord of the Rings is on eBay for $125. Wow, it was about 50 or 60 when it actually came out. Scott Weir says, Cliff, if you're serious, you should do it. I can't think of anyone else that is more deserving of reading the Silmarillion as an audiobook.
Exactly.
That's
With
very
a
kind
voice
of you.
like an angel.
That is very kind of you. You guys are very, very, very kind. I'm going to go down here to bullfrog voice. Hey, hey, you'll never find another love like mine.
Yeah. That's
Someone who
right.
cares about you like I do. Hey. Sorry. I had to. It's funny. Anyways.
No, it's cool. That's okay.
I'm just entertaining myself here.
Hey,
All right.
You're entertaining me too.
Not the least. Kay, Pipsky, you're very sweet. You're very kind. The Big Red edition is absolutely amazing. Especially this one for me is a keepsake because I've got the autographs in here of all the cast and crew, the director, the actors, all in my Lord of the Rings. Here they are.
Here, I'll provide the oohs and ahs. Ooh. Ah.
The Torn Troubadour. That's hilarious. So tell me, what do you think is going to be the longer-lasting impact of Tolkien? We know what an impact that Tolkien had on the 1960s, on the hippie generation. That the American counterculture rebranded itself around J.R.R. Tolkien and the talking trees and the hobbits and their love of the earth and the concerns, as has been pointed out, the concerns of nature versus overpowering industry and the destruction of the natural world. And that was a huge watermark of culture embracing Tolkien and making it part of the zeitgeist of the day. Do you think something like that is where Tolkien can, have an impact on your generation? Faced with global warming, climate change, faced with the facts that this nightmare is happening to us and that we have to take on our guardianship of the earth in a more specific and real way, in a really engaged way, do you think Tolkien can be part of that?
Well,
For,
first I want to give a personal experience, and then I'll answer your
because
question.
it's the younger ones underneath us that are going to inherit all these problems.
For myself, like, it had a different impact on me, not like an environment way, and I think it will have the same impact on my generation as well. For myself, like, I've gone through quite a bit, like, quite a bit, but it helped me get through it and not give up, because, like, there were times where I was like, you know what, I'm tired of just being here, being alive, I'm done, I give in, but it helped me get through it, and I'm here today because of that. And with everything that's been going on around, and how diverse people are now, a lot of people are butting heads. Like, a lot of people are butting heads, more than ever now. you know, all these terrorist attacks. I hate to bring up politics, but politics.
We occasionally tread in these difficult waters. I'm not afraid. Neither should you be.
Yeah, just...
Hey, by the way, Instagram, if you guys cut off in about 35 seconds, because there's a time limit, we will restart the stream for you, Instagram.
Yes.
So you'll go dark, we're going to lose the audience, but we'll bring you back immediately. Now, back
But
to where we were.
I think, because, again, these are very, very dark times, so...
Thank you,
we are in-
Annika. Have a good night. Have a good sleep. Thank you for being with us. Have a good night's sleep. Yeah, these are very difficult times.
But I think the way that Tolkien helped me
Yeah.
with getting over what I've gone through, I think it's going to help other people get through it as well.
Yes.
I really think if people just give it the time, pick up the book, or at least listen to the audiobook, or maybe watch them. Here.
Go ahead. I got it.
Okay.
I got that. That's easy.
Okay.
That's easy. Boom.
You know,
Boom.
like, watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But more so pick up the book. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think if they really give it a chance and have an open mind to it and not go into it begrudgingly, I think that it could help them
Is that
become
because...
a better person.
Yes, but is it because of Tolkien's position against despair? Is it because the Lord of the Rings has a backbone and a spine of courage with diversity of people coming together against despair?
I think
I think there's something
it's a
in there
part
that really
of
hits.
that, but I think it's really like anyone can take anything from it. Like what you were saying, this is a horrible reference. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but like how
Welcome
you
back.
said-
Welcome back, guys.
How you said that the Nazis, they thought that it related to them, and how everybody thought it related to them. Because there's stuff there for almost everyone.
That's
right?
applicability. Now,
Yeah.
in Tolkien's mind, allegory is in the hands of the author.
Yeah.
The author forces the symbolism onto the reader.
Yeah.
The reader has no choice but to say, oh, Aslan the lion, equivalency to Jesus
Yeah.
and the sacrifice of Christ, and the whole religious symbolism is very specific.
Yeah.
That's Aslan not being in the realm of applicable, where the readers can make up their mind about what's applicable. That's when C.S. Lewis, the author, tells the audience exactly what it's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
And in Professor Tolkien's mind, that bugged him a lot.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
he had problems with Narnia. He thought that applicability would be that, what you're speaking of.
Yeah.
That every other future generation or different people who have different patterns of life and patterns of thought, they would read symbols that were applicable to them in their own time for their own connections. Isn't that?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I was
Yeah,
saying,
just like you meant.
for most things, there's something there for everyone.
It
you
gives
know?
the power to the reader to make up their
yeah,
mind.
exactly. Like despair, family issues, or like, my mind is blanking at the moment. I'm sorry. War, you know, racial issues,
Absolutely.
gender issues to some degree.
We interviewed a woman for our documentary, Ringers, Lord of the Fans, and she said that she had problems struggling with her weight, and she had eating disorder, and she had problems with her weight, and reading The Lord of the Rings and reading Tolkien uplifted her and made a huge impact on her life too, and saving her from a place of personal despair. So I have encountered that in many different wavelengths. I have encountered this before, and I'm glad to hear you say it too.
Yeah.
You think that's the biggest impact that Tolkien has?
For myself, it is.
Yeah.
And I think for others, it really is. Because, like, for myself, it makes me sad when people are like, oh, yeah, you know, ha ha ha, one simply does not whatever.
Yeah.
Or, like, oh, you shall not pass. I don't know, it kind of makes me sad. Because, I mean, it's near and dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, if you only knew, you know, it could service you. Maybe. I don't know. But, I don't know. I mean, I think books like that, not just only like Lord of the Rings and, you know, Hobbit and just all of Tolkien's work.
Yeah. Good night, Dallas.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr.
farewell,
Dallas
friend.
Barnett. He's one of the cast members from the Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
Yes.
One of our good buddies. Hello, Mr. Dallas, and good night, sir. Iravana Undomio, so C.S. Lewis was more of the Protestant symbolism, while Middle-earth stories have Catholic symbolism. Yeah, well, yeah, I think there's a lot of Catholic ideology behind
I mean, I
Professor
think
Tolkien, but the symbolism is so softly,
it's
softly
very subtle.
layered in there.
It's very, very subtle. Like,
Yeah.
if you really
Very softly
know,
layered in there.
in this case, if you really know your Bible, and if you're looking for it, then you can find it very easily and make the connections.
Read what Fornad said. I really appreciate that, Fornad. Say that out loud, my dear.
Yeah, okay. It would be unfair to...
At the bottom.
No?
Right below Marfel's comment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right below Marfel's comment on the left.
Okay.
In the Ustream.
Okay, now I see it. As a non-religious person, Lord of the Rings has given me values and a way of looking at the world that I might not have had otherwise. Yeah, that's true.
I appreciate that too. I do. I really, really do. In fact, that's a statement that applies to me in my personal experience with Tolkien as well. I mean, I'm only an armchair Buddhist, you know, kind of like late in the Simpsons run when Lisa Simpson decides to convert to Buddhism, you know, and everybody in the family, you know, especially Bart and Homer, have issues with Lisa Simpson becoming Buddhist.
Yeah.
But I was very late in the game of, you know, embracing that kind of a spiritual belief system. But being a non-religious person, I find in The Lord of the Rings more of a powerful moral code, moral fiber, and it really implied, things that are implied and also things explicit that have made me a better person.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's so much there in The Lord of the Rings that has brought me to being a better and more thoughtful and more, I would say, more hopeful person. I think.
Definitely.
Don't you think?
Yeah, for myself as well. Like, for myself, I'm Christian Protestant.
Yes.
But, you know, I mean, making those connections as well. And then just seeing, like, the diverse casts. Oh, I mean, if you can call them casts, but, like, casts of characters.
You would call them, yeah. The
like,
dramatis
with the
persona.
elves, they have their own thing. With the dwarves, they have their own thing. And, like, they fight for so long. But at the very end, they come together for the greater good. So...
Randall Lehman says, agreed, Hannah. I think with pain and suffering, you value joy, happiness, and overcoming insurmountable odds. To keep going when times are tough, and that there is good in this world. Yes, very much so.
It definitely shows that, and I think that's what my generation needs right now. Or just what the world needs right now.
That's a very adroit observation, Randall, and thank you for that. Yeah, that's very, very good. Yeah, with pain and suffering, you come to appreciate joy.
Yes.
And you come to appreciate Sean Astin's monologue at the end of The Two Towers. Oh my gosh, Sean Astin should have got nominated for a Best Supporting Actor. Every year, there should have been someone who was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. First year, it was only Ian McKellen. Sir Ian McKellen is the only actor from that large ensemble who got the Best Supporting Actor nomination. He did not win that year. But yeah, and then the next year it could have been, you know, it could have been maybe Sam, it could have been Sean Astin in The Two Towers. Or maybe, even better, I think maybe Sean Astin would have got the Oscar nomination for Return of the King. You know?
I think also, like what you were saying, well, I mean, like, it kind of has to do, but, also another personal experience.
I'm totally getting distracted by Oscar history.
No, you're...
I easily get distracted these days. Sorry.
You're good. No, because, like, when you said, when you were talking about his speech at the end, I was thinking about in Return of the King, when Gandalf was talking about death and how that was just another part. You know?
Yes.
You know, recently I lost my grandmother this year, so
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I mean, we're all alright, kind of, but you know, it's just, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. Just in the world right now where we live in, where there's a lot of terrorist attacks, and just so much going on. Just to hear those lines, because I watched Return of the King on Sunday, and it plagued me for a long time. Well, it didn't plague me, but you know, I was thinking about that for quite some time. Like, you know what? He's right. It's just another part of, you know, life, and you know it. You know, it just, you know, don't give up hope because it happens to everyone, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, in this you still can find hope. It's not the end. But,
Agreed.
yeah.
I agree.
That got real personal.
Our hotline is blowing up. We love you, Hannah. You are one of us. No refunds. We love you, Hannah. You are one of us. No refunds. Hannah, I was depressed and suicidal, but then I heard Sam's The Two Towers speech and interpreted his line, "There's some good in this world worth fighting for," as there is still good in this world after all the crap that has happened. Lord of the Rings pulled me out of a severe depression. I relate. That's beautiful. Thank you for that. That's really, really beautiful. Good stuff. Yep. Very good stuff. See what a great audience we have participating with us? This is great.
That's why I love Tolkien so much.
Yes.
That's why I love it so much. He's played a big part into my creativity. Helped me through a lot.
Absolutely.
And just like the content is absolutely amazing. Like absolutely amazing.
Yes, just thank you, Josh. There is a very, very good Silmarillion audiobook that already exists, but it's not available in the United States. Well, when they're ready to record a brand new one, thank you, Josh. That's our wonderful
Saruman.
That's our Saruman.
Saruman.
That's our contributor, editor, and man about town, Josh Rubenstein, who's part of the OneRing.net staff. That's really good. If they never license it and never release it in the United States, then we're going to have to get a new one.
I wonder who.
I wonder who.
Wow, this cough has not gone away.
No, hey, you got a cough. So let's see. Now look at all these messages we've got. Lots and lots of messages. Iruana, you've been great. JC, look. Oh, wow. Eruyantio Vanimo says, the British fantasy author Terry Pratchett once said that Tolkien appears in every fantasy universe. And yes, actually, Eruyanto Vanimo, thank you for pointing that out. Terry Pratchett said that in an interview that I did with him, actually. It was an interview that I did with him, and it is featured in our documentary film, Ringers, Lord of the Fans. So here we are, a quote from an interview that I actually did with Terry Pratchett. He said, Tolkien appears in the fantasy universe in the same way that Mount Fuji appeared in old Japanese prints. Sometimes small, in the distance, and sometimes big and close to, and sometimes not there at all. And that's because the artist is standing on Mount Fuji. Yep, that's right. Very, very much, 100%. That's so beautiful and so true.
That's definitely correct.
That's awesome. I love this. You guys are such a great audience. I have so many messages. I don't know how to get through them all. But I'm really intrigued that half of our people said paper, half of that quick little poll we did. Half of them said I'd do audio. I would do the Nook. Hey, is that Justin Sewell?
Maybe.
Hey, what's up, Justin? What's up? What's up, Justin? Oh, okay. Here you go. We're getting a call on the hotline.
Who dis?
Hi. Is this Torn Tuesday?
Yeah, this is Torn Tuesday. Who is this? Where are you calling from?
My name's Justin. I'm calling from Hollywood, California.
Oh my gosh, what a surprise.
What a coincidence.
We've got a surprise guest star on the phone.
My name is Justin's Ghost in the chat room.
Yeah,
really
Justin's
Ghost.
Yeah.
You. I've got a surprise for you guys.
What's that?
Today, right now, this episode that you guys are on, both of you, is officially Torn Tuesday's 300th episode.
Say that again? Our what 100th?
300th episode.
300 episodes? 300 episodes? How do you know this is true? Really?
I just checked it. Okay, thanks, bye.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Thank you for helping me celebrate. Guys, we didn't know this. We've hit a major milestone. It's our 300th episode of Torn Tuesday on theonering.net. Oh, wow, look. Yeah. Dude, 300 episodes in. And look at where we are now. Look at where we are right now. 300 episodes of theonering.net. Wow. You know what?
That's crazy.
I think this deserves a margarita. I think we should have margaritas.
I'm underage, but
That's
alright.
no, you can't. You can have a virgin margarita only with no real stuff in it.
Okay.
Okay. They're fun when they're blended. The strawberry blended margarita, it's like a strawberry icy, and you can have it made without tequila, so that's good. Sometimes I get that because I have a sweet tooth. Hey, congrats! Thank you, congrats! I can't believe it. Wow. Are you ready? Should we do it?
Let's have people call in with their favorite episode.
Celebrate good times, come on! Boom, 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 boom. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on! Boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
Yahoo! That's right, our 300th episode. You guys call into the hotline because the show is almost over. Like, wow, yeah. In the last 5 minutes of our show, why don't you guys tell us what your favorite episode is?
Or your favorite moment.
Gosh, what's your favorite moment or favorite episode of Torn Tuesday since we've done 300 of them over the past 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years? I don't know, I've lost track of time. Letitia's here. Do you believe that?
My mom walks by.
Doing a video. 300 episodes!
Yes!
Hey! I love it. 300 Torn Tuesdays.
Oh my gosh.
Has it really been that long? Yes, let's all go to the Green Dragon and celebrate.
And scream.
And Diane, you're very kind. This was a really great show. Thank you. It was a really, really great show. Actually, we had a really good conversation, didn't we? Wow. Well, you know what I'm anticipating as far as technology influencing the way that we digest and read Tolkien? Look out for VR, guys. We're going to get augmented reality or virtual reality audiobooks, and I might get involved in that at some level.
That would be
where
cool.
There'd be like you guys in the tavern with me curled up in front of the fireplace, and I'm sitting here with the big book in my lap and a wizard's pipe, and I'm reading the book to you while you're in the VR world.
Oh,
I mean,
that would be really
we could
cool.
actually do Lord of the Rings augmented reality, you know, and it could be
The
like...
Silmarillion.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be scary, though. That would be kind
The
of scary.
Silmarillion is so hardcore.
Ooh, that would be
so
kind of
hardcore.
scary. You watch Turin Torbark.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Glaurung, that
dead.
evil creature.
Oh, for me, Ungolon.
Hey, Green Zoe says that the Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan episode was fun.
Yeah, that
yep,
was
I
good.
remember that was
That
one
was
of the
a good
most
one.
fun I've ever had. I had more Billy Boyd in my lap than I deserved. That's true. Every time I interview B Cake or Billy Boyd or one of those guys, Dominic, one of them always ends up like crawling all over me like a cheap, like
Small child.
like a cheap, yeah, like a small baby.
Small.
Or a cheap polyester suit that just clings to you. Ah, storage almost full. Dude, Alan William Penner, thank you for joining us your very first day on Torn Tuesday, and you managed to hit us on a special, unbelievable 300th episode. Wow, look, we got flames burning, the flames of Mordor.
I am fire, I am death.
Welcome, Fantasies and Fairy Tales. Always glad to pop some very good cherry. It's delicious. I love, actually, black cherry Breyer's all-natural ice cream. The most tasty cherry of all. Breyer's all-natural ice cream. On sale at Ralph's right now. It's so good. Pure cane sugar, yummy, and real cherries. You know what? It's that time of year. It's that time of year where strawberries, blueberries, yeah, all kinds of, you know.
Boysenberries, which we have.
Yummy. Everything's in
God,
season.
it's on
Here in North America, everything's in season. And I think that we should go, you know, make some Hobbit, you know, things like...
Well, I mean, I have boysenberries if anyone wants.
Yes, I love boysenberries. Yummy. I love berries.
And apricots. We have... Please, okay, if you like apricots, please take apricots.
Tom Dexter. Thank you. Come and tune in for more. Yes, Tom Dexter says this. We got a lot of virgins on our first episode. Yeah. Hey, K9 out and about. Thank you. This is awesome. Of course, it's a thing.
Okay, Jane's
TheOneRing.net.
was feeling left out because
Insisted on watching? Oh, good. Thank Janessa. Janessa got her husband on.
you
You love my hat? Thank you, Morgan. I love this hat, too. Keeps my head warm at night. Smooth as a baby's arse right here. Not really. I'm starting to look like Jean-Luc with a little bit of this growing in. Damn it, Q! Get off my bridge!
Like I said, I've never watched Star Wars.
You've never watched The Next Generation?
No.
Have you watched any of the J.J. Abrams reboot?
Okay, yeah, I've seen.
Okay, then you've seen some. I like my hat too because I tip my hat like this, and I start snapping my fingers, and I'm all jazzy and ready
West
to go.
Side Story.
Jazzy. Yeah, when you're a jet, you are always a jet. No, I'm not going to sing West Side Story. Somehow, someday, somewhere. Shut up. Zach, what are you doing?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Hey, it's our 300th episode.
Yay!
Say hi to the Hobbit fans out there. 300 episodes.
Hello, hello.
That's Zach. He's the stage manager of the Nerdist Stages,
The
which is an
disembodied
integral
voice.
part of Meltdown Comics here in sunny Hollywood, California. You guys break out the lembas bread. More lembas bread. How about...
How many did you have?
Yeah,
4.
4. And then...
Oh, Billy.
There are 2 jokes about numbers in the 2 towers. How many lembas bread between Merry and Pippin did they eat? And how many orcs between Legolas and Gimli got killed in their contest? There's two contests.
Quite a bit, probably.
Quite a bit, yes.
Probably.
Yes, it comes in pints. I'm getting me one.
Turn on your Skype.
It's time for a pint.
Wait,
Try and Skype.
Pete is trying to Skype.
Nope, my Skype hasn't gone off once yet. So, oh well, gosh, Pete is trying to Skype. I don't have Skype turned on.
Turn it on.
Okay, cool. We're going to have to log out of my old account and log into theonering.net. Anyways, we're way over time, but I don't mind going over time because it's 300 episodes.
Exactly.
You know, we should invite Zack Snyder to come right here. Hi, Zach. Yeah, that's right. Did someone say Zach? Someone just said that. We should
Zach.
invite Zack Snyder to come in and be on our 300th
Here, let me
episode.
scoot over.
I had to come on the show because
There
it's the
he is.
300th episode.
There
Hi,
Hey,
Instagram.
just on our three-
It's an unexpected party.
Yes, it is.
That's
Ooh.
right. Because
That's good.
it's our 300th episode. I would during the show while I was paying attention to the audio levels and all the animated gifs.
Oh,
I
which
was
looked
like
beautiful.
I was like, when was our first episode? And it was 2011. So we're coming up on our 6th year anniversary.
Wow.
We've only missed
Wow.
5 episodes.
Wow.
As far as I can remember,
Justin's
we've
here,
only missed
everybody.
5 episodes, and this is amazing. 300. 300!
I know.
And you're here!
It's so fantastic to
Sign
have you here.
in!
Let's sign
to
in.
Skype so we
Out of
can
all
talk
the
to
guests
so
that could
people.
have been on the 300th episode, it's me.
It had to be you.
No.
If I had known it was our 300th episode before the show started, this would have been better planned, but it's an unexpected party.
Yes.
Okay, I know the words part of it, but what's
Plus
the number
1.
part? Oh, yeah. Well, there's always... I figured
Always
that.
add a 1.
Always out of one.
Plus 1, just
Carry
like
the
Bilbo.
Oh, here we are. Hey, theonering.net Skype is now online. We did miss Pete's Skype call.
I love so many people in the chat room. What's amazing, I've been following the chat on Facebook and on the One Ring, and so many new people are watching this week.
A lot of new audience members, and I'm thrilled to see the audience come in and join us for the first time. But it feels
We
like
can't see you, Pete. Where are you, Pete?
it feels like we've been doing this forever.
Your camera's off.
Press the camera button.
Yes.
There you go,
There
buddy.
he is. There he is.
Hey, everybody.
There's Pete.
So-
Anniversary. It's cool that Pippin showed up tonight.
You gotta get a
Yes.
little louder. Is there volume on that?
that's as loud as it gets.
There it is.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
We're gonna-
Pete,
we're gonna-
you've been with us. You've been with us since the beginning. I believe you were with
Yes.
us on the road trip across America.
Yes.
And that was one of our first things. That was just a few weeks after we started this
I'm
show.
going to show everybody out there in the world.
There
We're
he
talking
is.
to
There's
Pete. Here's
Pete.
Pete. He's one of our original audience members that was with us 6 years ago.
He's one of the
When he's one of the OGs.
We
We got to
original.
get Pippin on. You're next, Pippin.
That's right,
Don't
Pippin.
you
Where are
worry.
you? Where's Pippin? There's Sarah.
Yeah. So, hey, Pete.
Was the toughest moderator you guys ever had.
Yeah, that's right, man. That Stickam chat was something else on our road trip. Hey, if we did another road trip, would you come? Would you watch with us again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cha. Hey, so what's been your favorite episodes? Do you have a top 5?
Well, my favorite,
Hello.
I would say favorite would be Sean Astin the first time from in his garage. And he showed us his box and Sam's backpack on the road.
Yep.
And his little girl was outside playing in the driveway.
Yeah, that's right. We were in his living room, and his girls were in the backyard running around. Yes, that was true.
Yeah, okay, so that was his garage. Yeah, he had his backpack and the rope and some other stuff. And I think my second favorite was Billy Boyd and the dance.
We've had so many wonderful guests and co-hosts on this show. I mean, every year this show keeps surprising us with where it goes and the conversation leads to. We haven't run out of things to talk about, have we?
No.
No, and it hasn't been a movie in how many years?
Yeah.
What, 3?
Well, The Hobbit, that's true. I'm thinking Lord of the Rings, but yeah. But still,
3 years, I think? I don't
it's
know.
a subject that'll never die.
Yeah.
Hey,
Who was it? The Hillywood shows are really good, too.
those are fabulous.
Yeah, the
yes.
Hillywood show is amazing. They've been on a few times. Janice says, I would pay money to see you guys track down Alan Lee for episode 400. Gosh, we really, this really invigorated me. We need to book some guests and
I would
get
love
this
that.
going.
We
Even
gotta
if we
do it.
Skyped with Alan Lee, that would be amazing. Who would be your dream guest, Pete?
What were you saying, Justin?
Well, who would be your dream guest? Like, we're at episode 300. Who would be your dream guest for this show?
Well, I mean, I'd love to see Christopher Tolkien, but he's not going to show up.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cliff got Ralph
Maybe.
Bakshi, and Ralph Bakshi is just as hard as Christopher Tolkien.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? To tell you honestly, I would love to interview somebody who I've never interviewed, and that I have to hate. It sounds like a reach, but Cate Blanchett is someone that I've never sat down to interview, and I've interviewed Peter Jackson and Richard Taylor and Elijah and Orlando and even Liv Tyler. I've interviewed everybody in between, but I never got to sit down with Kate.
Diane Tao in the chat room says Sean Bean would be the dream. Andrew Morris said Peter S. Beagle
Ooh, yeah.
and Keely and Feely from Happy Hobbit was his favorite episode. Yes, that Peter S. Beagle was so much fun. Hey, Pete.
Sean Bean would probably die like 5 minutes into the end.
Hey, yeah, let's not jinx it. Hey, but I know you wanted to call just because Hannah's here. That's so exciting. You only call when
Yeah.
Why do you only call when she's here?
Because we're friends, that's why.
Well, she's here most of the time.
What?
Actually, I call when she's not here. I don't call and have nothing to say.
Hey, Pete, it's always good to hear from you. I'm glad you called in our 300 episode. Other people want to call in right now, especially Pippin in Minnesota.
Yep, on there. All right, love you guys.
Love you too. Thanks for watching.
Love you too, man. Awesome.
Fairly
right.
well, friend.
So awesome to have you. Thank you, buddy.
All right, the Skype lines are open. Let's celebrate 300 episodes.
got
I can't
one.
believe it.
Just right
Oh,
now.
look.
Oh, there's Sarah.
Sarah is right behind him.
Eager.
Hi!
Hello.
Oh my gosh, Pippin's here. Yay. How awesome is that?
Yep, I'm here. Hang on.
How are you?
So enthused. Hello. This is magic. You were here with us in the beginning, and now you're here with us at the end of all things,
Well,
Sam.
this is not the end.
No, it's not. But it's not. I'm just saying, it's the line.
So, are you near a lake? There looks like some water in the back.
I live on a lake.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
What?
that's gorgeous.
That's pretty.
That's really gorgeous.
That's your house?
I live on a lake.
Wow,
Yes,
that's
this is my
cool.
house.
I'll be right there.
I love it.
No, seriously,
You're not
I'm
gonna
I'm
pull out
gonna
right
drive.
now,
I'm driving to Yellowstone for the eclipse, and then I'm going to Minnesota. I'm gonna be at that lake sooner than you know it. Hey,
We don't have a boat in the water yet, though.
that's fine. I can swim. Hey,
Hey,
when did you start watching Torn Tuesday?
I don't know.
Was it the
It's
road
hard to
trip?
remember. The road trip may have been the first one. I'm not 100% sure, though.
So,
That's when I started moderating.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember
all I
we really needed it too. We really needed moderators. Hey, let me ask you this: where were you in life when you started watching us? Were you in high school? What grade were you in?
I think I was still in high school.
Sophomore?
No, actually, I think I started my first year of college, so 6 years ago.
6 years. Yep, that's right. We've been on the air 6 years, and now you're out of college.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We've seen someone go all the way through college.
That is amazing. Wow.
So what was your favorite part of Torn Tuesday? Was it the
imagine.
road trips? Was it a special guest? What or walking
Billy
around
Boyd.
Comic-Con?
Thank you.
Crawling all
And
over.
Andrew said he loved talking to Peter S. Beagle. That was, yeah. We've had some great conversations with the author Peter S. Beagle.
It's hard to say since I've technically been away for most of the time that you've been on, but I would say either the road trip or Billy Boyd. But I can't really remember anything because I haven't watched much in the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, yeah, you've been busy getting degrees and getting smarter. Meanwhile, I still haven't read the books.
You need to read the book.
And I've gotten this far without it.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I mean, at least he has the hat.
You're awful. You promised you would, and you still
I know.
haven't.
I'm a terrible person.
Wait a minute. Let's remind the
I'm
audience.
such a terrible
Let's
person.
remind the audience, dear Pippin in Minnesota, whom did he promise? Whom did he promise?
Did he promise
Remember?
to you, didn't he?
No, to Royd Tolkien.
Oh,
Never
to
mind.
Royd, yeah.
Yeah, he promised to the great-great-grandson of Tolkien himself, and he promised and didn't read it.
Never mind.
Wait a second.
Ooh, someone's
Somebody
throwing
in
down
the
the
chat.
gauntlet.
This is
Oh
so
my.
last question before other people get to call in.
That's a
Who
good
would be
idea.
your dream guest? Who do you want? Who would be your ultimate get for this show?
Has Andy Serkis been on yet?
No, not yet. Let's
No.
get Andy. Andy's going to be doing a lot of press for War for the Planet of the Apes.
That's right.
So let's get Andy in here. Yes, we're going to get Andy in here. We're going to work on that. I know who to talk
Like
to.
that, get him on.
I know who to talk
We
to.
should. We should get him. Well, he's
We should.
promoting the thing.
Do you know what? And by the way, the reviews for War for the Planet of the Apes,
They're saying Oscar.
they're saying hugest, best thing ever. Yeah, Oscar.
for Andy.
Wow.
Hashtag it now.
Do you know? Yeah, I actually said, I texted him and I said, the Oscar campaign begins officially like yesterday. It really did. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, who would you like to have on the show besides Andy?
I haven't seen the second one yet, so I still need to see it.
Yeah, I
it's
need to
good,
catch
it's
up.
good.
I'm gonna rewatch the 2 before I
It's great.
go into the 3rd one.
They're amazing.
So, hey, it's great to see you. I'm glad to see that you're still with us after all these years.
And your beautiful lake.
And your beautiful lake.
Yes.
Yes.
Top notch.
Wow.
Thank you.
300 episodes. Father Looker says, ultimate guest, Christopher Tolkien. I would
Everybody wants it.
I would love to talk to Christopher Tolkien.
That's right. Hey, we're gonna open up the Skype line. Thank you for calling, Pippin.
Bye.
We'll talk to you soon.
It's great to see you, hun.
All right, the Skype lines are open. The
Somebody
name is
said
above our head.
On the Instagram live that we should do one live from Hobbiton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next year I will be.
you'll be there.
Yes.
Yes.
When?
June and July for like about a month.
Then we'll do an episode from there. Oh,
You
that
know-
would be so good. Oh, hey.
If we do it in July, it'll be our 7th anniversary, year anniversary.
You're
Let's do
live.
it.
You're live on the OneWing.net. Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Mayor Gamgee calling from Minnesota.
Yes.
Hey,
hey.
Mayor Gamgee,
Hey,
how's
Mayor
it going?
Gamgee. Awesome. We got more Minnesotans.
I'm just so happy that you guys got 300 there quality episodes. I'm just thrilled that you guys made it to this anniversary. It's awesome.
Hey, I really appreciate that. People ask us all the time, why do you still do that? There's nothing new coming out, and we're like, Tolkien is just evergreen. We can always
Yes.
talk about Tolkien
Yes.
until the last
Preach.
breath.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and you guys are having new episodes like tonight that are still relevant, that are still awesome in my opinion. I love watching these. I'm making a list on iTunes, like for playlists and stuff like that. I mean, it's fantastic. Congratulations, guys.
Hey, thank you so much. Hey,
dude.
let me ask you this.
Thank you.
Who would be your dream guest to see on the show?
I don't think it's ever going to happen just by her nature, but I would love to see Fran Walsh.
Fran Walsh.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, yeah.
I think that's Hannah's favorite, too. She's already blushing about the idea of Fran being here.
Yeah, I honestly, I really think that that she mainly was the powerhouse in the Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Because with Hobbit films, it doesn't sound like they got the script where they really wanted it, and the quality showed. So I think it was really Fran Walsh who was the big powerhouse in the making of those films. But it would be awesome to get any comment from her at all would be fantastic.
I agree. Hey, I really appreciate the phone call and I appreciate your support, and I love seeing you in the chat almost every week.
We all appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for joining us. That's great.
Yes, much love.
Can I just say one last thing? I gotta say my favorite episode that you guys have ever done is Why Tolkien Makes Us Cry. Thank you, Justin, for initiating that conversation, and thank you, Cliff, for entertaining it. The look on Justin's face when he realized, the connection to the Hobbit, basically the revelation, at the end of that episode was so beautiful. It's my favorite episode you guys have ever done. Thank you. Keep up the awesome work.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's
Thank you so much
really
for
awesome.
calling in, and
That's
I
awesome,
appreciate
dude.
I appreciate that mention. It's one of my favorite episodes as well.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much.
You guys.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, awesome. Wow.
Wow, that was a surprise episode
Yeah,
to bring up.
it was.
but
He-
that
he-
was an important episode.
He texted me and he said that he just said this. As a writer, I learned so much from Why Tolkien Makes Us Cry. And you know what? It slipped my mind for just a moment about the ground we covered in that conversation about
yeah,
why
that was
Tolkien
a
makes
heavy
us-
conversation.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
That was really good stuff, man. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I love
That was
it
great.
when our viewers respond to an episode that we do so many of them. 300. Have you done 300 of anything? Created 300 of any? I haven't never drawn 300 drawings.
I've made 300 scrambled eggs at least. Maybe that.
I've done
maybe
the
that.
drawing part, but
It's amazing. Like, hey, the phone lines are open, the Skype lines are open. We're gonna stay on for a couple more minutes.
Yeah, we're enjoying. Well, actually, it can't be because I actually have a 7 o'clock meeting for work.
All right, so
Yeah,
we got
so
5 more minutes.
We got a little bit of time. Maybe 10. Maybe 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes. You heard it from the man.
now I have a question for you guys. Random question.
Yeah, rando question.
But if you can interview one Lord of the Rings character or any Tolkien character, who would
Character.
it be?
You mean
Character.
in-world.
Yes,
In-world
yes,
character.
Yeah.
Whom would I interview?
Yeah.
Oh, Gollum, easily. Smeagol.
And
Smeagol.
what question
Gollum.
would you
Absolutely.
ask?
Absolutely.
Which question?
I would actually focus on who he was when he was Smeagol.
Mm-hmm.
I would totally ask him. What's the one question? Well, I'd ask him a whole bunch, but I have to
Well, I
pick
mean,
one.
like the one big question.
I would talk.
I would say who taught you. I would ask him who.
Thorin. I want to talk to Thorin. He's
Yes.
got
I'm
an
not
entire
sure.
history that
There's so many.
he's still dealing with. I would want to talk to Thorin and what he knows about his family and everything like that. Aravandi in the chat room says, sorry, I don't want to, but I think I'm going to have to go. Night, everyone.
Aw.
Night, Justin, Hannah, Cliff. Happy 300th
Heart
episode.
breaks.
Oh, it's so wonderful that you
Thank
were
you,
here
Aravandi.
with us. Thank you for staying a little late. I can't believe the episode is here. 300 scrambled eggs says Jeannie Bourgeois. How many episodes have I said your name wrong? But there is Sarah Vorhauer says, should I call? Yes, you should.
Of course
Call
you should.
right
Absolutely.
now. Yeah.
Oh, I know the answer to the question. What I would ask Smeagol, I would ask him about the early history of his tribes. They were the early versions of the people, the smaller diminutive people, the river folk, who would eventually migrate over from the river Anduin and migrate over to the green area of the Shire. And they would settle that land and domesticate that land and become the hobbits that we know. So I would ask Smeagol, I would ask him about any knowledge of the earlier history of his tribes of river folk and his people, where they came from, and what stories they have about their origins. That's what I would ask Smeagol, about what their life was like, and how they ended up settling there in the river on
Hi, who's
Anduin.
calling?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Sarah Vorhauer from the chat.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing,
Hello.
Sarah?
Justin? Great. How are you all?
Fantastic.
We're wonderful, and we surprised ourselves with this 300 episode. So
Me too.
thank you for calling. And hey, do you remember when you started watching?
Yes. The first thing I remember watching was you guys at San Diego Comic-Con, and I remember seeing Cliff buy a unicorn poster with all the words from The Last Unicorn.
Yeah, that's right.
On it.
That's right. That was that. I remember that poster.
Yeah.
What was your favorite episode?
Yeah. I think I have several. I like the ones where Justin talked to the dinosaur guys in Montana or someplace like that.
Montana.
I love it.
Dinosaurs in Tolkien.
I think they're from Colorado.
I have to be honest. That's my favorite episode.
Yes.
Wow, I can't believe this.
I can imagine, yeah. And I liked when you all went frame by frame through the trailer for Decimation of Smog and all that.
Yeah, frame by frame. We spent an hour and a half talking
really
about
weird.
a 3-minute.
My streaming is slow, so
It was amazing. Hey, so what would be your dream guest on this show?
It's a boffer hat, actually. Boffer, not Radagast,
No.
but I think that's it's kind of. Yeah, but is that a Radagast hat?
my dream guest, I'd love to be on your show. I'd like myself to be.
That is the right answer.
That is the right answer. We'd love to have you on the show.
When will you be in LA? Or where are you in the country that we can come visit you on a road trip?
But I'm in Maryland. I'm close to DC. You got to come to Washington DC, and I will come.
Oh my gosh, we've never road tripped to that part of the country.
It's a beautiful place.
That would be amazing.
The District of Columbia is a beautiful place.
I love Richmond area. I love that whole area.
You know what else is nice down there? Norfolk. That's really nice down there.
That's
too.
right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's so wonderful to.
That's where.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say Aravandi lives down there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh cool. We've got friends from Sweden. Hello, Sweden.
Oh, I just want to tell
Morgan.
Hannah.
You just say that again?
Hannah, it's really me. Hannah, it's
Hello.
really me, Peter Capaldi. You know it's really me.
That was a loud laugh. I'm sorry. That was a really loud laugh.
It's okay.
That's funny.
Ah,
That's funny.
I wasn't expecting that, but okay.
I just had to prove it was me.
That's
I
hilarious.
had a feeling. I'm like, wait a second. I didn't want to say anything because I was like, okay.
So funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's great that you called in. It's great to hear your voice, and we got to make an effort to get you on the show somehow, some way.
Yes.
But appreciate all your support and watching all these many years.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing such a great show, guys. I love it.
Of course.
All right, we'll talk to
Highlight
you
of the
soon.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Man, it's so wonderful to hear from you guys, and I'm surprised at some of the episodes people are talking about. Like, some things I totally forgot that we did because we do so many episodes. But, you know, that's the whole point of a good show. You know what I wish we haven't done? You know, as long as we're talking about dream guests, I don't really have a dream guest. I wish I had the time to upload all episodes to iTunes and SoundCloud as podcasts. I mean, we would have 300 episode podcast
Wow.
on iTunes.
That would be amazing.
If I had the time to like make an audio of everything. So
Oh, wow.
oh look, we're getting another
we're
one
getting
on the
another call on
hotline.
the hotline.
Hi,
Wow.
who's calling?
It's Kay. Hi.
Hey,
Pipsky!
Pipsky. Hello, dear. Hey, this is great.
It's Kay. Well, I'm not going to call you on a 300 episode.
It's
I
like
think you should make it 400 episodes, please.
it feels like an anniversary. I feel like a wizard. I feel like I feel so old with 300 episodes. I feel like butter over too much bread.
You need to have a Hobbit feast at least. You really do. I mean, with bread and mushrooms and tomatoes and lots of beer.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we've actually never done an episode where we're just feasting, have we?
We should have a big, unexpected party, a little party, and we should.
My
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings meetup date. Right? I'm sorry. My Lord of the Rings meetup date. We have Hobbit feasts. We bring all foods that hobbits love to eat, with mushrooms and bread and all that. Everything you can think of that hobbits love to eat, which is most everything. And we have it, and it's fun. And we have a lot of food left over, let me tell you.
Oh, good. I love it.
That's what you should have.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
that's
should
the
have a
whole
feast.
point. I mean,
love it.
that's what we had at the one expected party.
I know, you should. It's hard to decide my favorite episode. I love the Billy and Dom one because, you know, I love Billy Boyd. But that episode when you were on the road, I talked to you about that just in the last week, I believe, when you went to that place and the professor's desk was there. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Remember that museum?
I remember it was a surprise. Someone in the chat room said you need to go here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how we got led. We were accidentally led
Yeah.
there. It was great. Yes.
Wow. I loved that. I was like floored. You should have seen my mouth wide open and like, can you touch that? Yeah.
And then
I will always remember.
and the look on
Anyway,
Cliff's face.
Congratulations, guys. You know we love you with all our hearts.
Oh,
Say it again.
I appreciate all the love, and I appreciate that you've been watching with us for so long, and it's
you've
so wonderful.
personally gone through your own journey. Pipsquay, you have gone through your own difficulty and your own survival, and you have shown strength and spirit that I admire, and I love you too from afar, and I'm so glad that you are with us across the miles. So glad you're here with us.
Well, you have helped me. I've lost someone dear to me that I had as a childhood. She was almost like a second mother, and I'm going to her memorial tomorrow. So this is helping me quite a lot. It is. So, thank you guys. Really is.
Thank you. Your support keeps us on the air.
Hello? Thank you.
It's so wonderful. So, all right, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sure.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thank you, Pipsquay. You are so awesome. That is so awesome.
It's so wonderful. It is so wonderful that the memories that people have. Everyone has a particular episode. I mean, what got you watching this show?
I think it was right after I met you at the Desolation
of Smaug.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, like, someone was just asking, where did you find this Hannah girl? She's so smart and insightful, and everyone wants to talk to her. Everyone's following the chat room. I said, we had met at the Desolation of Smaug premiere here in L.A., and there's all of these actors signing autographs to all the fans waiting along the street. And you met Richard Armitage, and you met Lee Pace.
Was a couple years later.
Luke Evans was there. And
not Lee Pace, but I met Luke Evans, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Fran and Philippa.
But Fran and Philippa were the ones you were freaking out about.
Yeah.
You had just got an autograph from some hunks, and you're like, Fran and Philippa. We're like, well, there's something different about her.
I agree with everybody who says that we should have Fran or Philippa be right here to do an interview with us. Although, notoriously shy, Fran Walsh will not step in front of the camera.
Wouldn't that be a get, though? The first video interview with
It would be the
Fran?
ultimate. It would be the ultimate.
The only video interview.
It would be the ultimate because Fran is really genius. She's really genius, and I love her. And wow, that would be exciting. Mm-hmm. One female filmmaker to another. You could ask Fran all kinds of questions.
Mom, does she have a list of questions that she would ask Fran and Philippa?
We should get Patty Jenkins and Fran Walsh in here for the same show. Wouldn't that be wicked cool? We would talk all about what's changing in the movie industry. That's so cool.
You should interview PJ's kids and see what it's like growing up with Peter and Fran. We've talked to his kids. In fact, we follow a lot of that on Instagram when she was off to college and doing her college tour.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And everything. Hey, Cliff,
Before
we're running out of time. You've got dates.
Nope. I actually have a bride and groom who went to have a meeting with me about an upcoming ceremony that I'm going to be doing in just a week. So I have to have a meeting with, because, it's something I do and I'm really enjoying it. I want to acknowledge Father Looker, who said that he had his 6th annual Hobbit party on Saturday, just a few days ago. It was on Midsummer's Eve, so we had lots of fireworks in honor of the old Took.
That's amazing.
That is super cool, man. I love that. To have 6 years in a row of Hobbit parties, I love that.
Hey, Marvel says there should be a Tolkien cinematic universe. Well, boy, have we did an episode on that, didn't we?
We did. Yes, actually, we did. Broke down the Silmarillion into 7 movies.
7 movies.
7 movies for the Silmarillion. But, if it ever does happen, I get the feeling that an anthology TV series is where that structure might go.
I disagree. I think it should be
we'll see.
But, hey,
Either
this
way,
has been
I'm
a
being
wonderful...
the director.
See? Already,
See?
she's
Yeah.
calling dibs.
Okay, everybody
I've had dibs for years.
Guys, we're going to keep in mind all of these requests.
The answer is yes. Jane, yes. He will come to Canada and officiate your vows.
That's Janessa.
Janessa.
Yes, thank you. Oh, really? If you and Alan renew your vows, I'm so there. I'm so there. You know what? I want to say all these requests for Andy Serkis, for Christopher Tolkien, for Fran Walsh, for all these people, Sean Bean, a lot of requests for Sean Bean. Believe us, we will do it. We'd be more than happy to do it. And if we can make it happen, we'll make it happen. But the one that has the greatest likelihood is Andy going on a big publicity whirlwind.
Let's do it. We have to.
War for the Planet of the Apes.
That's right.
Coming out soon. I want to talk to Andy Serkis. I'm getting excited because he's the coolest ever. Andy Serkis, yeah, it's time for his Oscar.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's time for the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences to resuscitate what they stopped doing, the Special Achievement Oscar. The last person to get that was John Lasseter from Pixar. And that was, what, 1993 or 95 when that happened? Okay.
Something like that.
But since
Wait,
then...
didn't Mel Brooks get a Special Achievement Award last year?
No, we're talking about this special category that they removed. And they need to bring it
okay,
back.
okay.
It's like a
That
special
was a
achievement.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
lifetime achievement.
okay.
Oh, hey, one last call. You're on the hotline. Let's do it. Well, timing is everything. You're on Torn Tuesday. Where you calling from? Hello?
Hi, it's Miss Bourgeois calling.
Oh, Miss Bourgeois. You know what? I'm so glad to have you here. Oh, wait, we're going to finally settle the issue forever. Okay, I know I keep butchering it because I say Jean Bourgeois, but is it really pronounced Jean? Is that right? Is it Jean?
Yes, in English it is.
In English.
It's Jean.
See, I do not mind you guys saying the French pronunciation, but you've been getting the wrong gender.
Oh my gosh!
no.
Oh my god!
I got mad on the episode you had Ben on it. He called me a he.
Oh no!
And yell at him.
That's hilarious.
So for the record, let's hear you say your name.
So yes, it's Jean, but if you're going to call me the French pronunciation, it's actually Jen for female.
Oh,
Jean Bourgeois.
Jean, as in Genevieve, Jean, not Jean. Okay, I got it. It's Jean. Oh my gosh, is there egg on my face? There's so much egg on my face. I'm so embarrassed.
As long as we got her on the phone, let's each take turns. Let's say her name and confirm that we can say it.
Well, I knew it was a she, but I just said it wrong because I'm a fool.
So, Jeannie Bourgeois.
Fool.
Right?
A fool of a toque.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say
Full of a token beat.
it's Jean Bourgeois.
But no, because Diane in the chat rooms and the Facebook chat said you need to call in and finally clarify that.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
This
glad.
is so true.
I'm glad we did.
So, do you prefer Jeannie or Jean or Jen?
No, I would prefer not that.
straightforward.
No, see,
Okay.
that's what my father used to call me, and I have no relationship with the whatsoever, so it's a sad reminder, and I would prefer not to have it.
All right, so Jean Bourgeois.
Jean Bourgeois.
Jeanne.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. We
I
finally.
got it.
I feel smarter after this episode now.
We are smarter and we're better and yes, we're there now. Okay. And if I ever say bourgeoisie, then you're allowed to smack me through the phone, okay? Okay.
Hey, it's so wonderful that you called and clarified this, and what a way to close out our 300th episode.
It is. We're getting a lot of
It's
hearts.
so
from
wonderful.
IG.
With some clarification, yes. But also, yes, congratulations on the 300 episodes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My gosh.
We'll talk to you soon.
Definitely.
Thank you,
You're
hon.
very good, guys.
All right.
That's fabulous.
All right, you guys close out the show.
Well, you know what? Hey, thank you, Justin, for,
Yes.
for helping us get to this point. Before you leave, Justin, wait. I want to acknowledge this man. He just stepped off camera, but I could
Justin,
not have been here.
Justin,
None of us would be here 300 episodes later if it wasn't for my co-producer and my co-host, my Siskel to my Ebert. He has always been there for me, giving a thumbs down when I gave a thumbs up, promising that he would read
Your
The
yin
Hobbit
to your
and
yang.
never reading it. But that's why we love Justin. You guys can follow Justin on Twitter at Justin's Big Idea. Real simple. Justin's Big Idea.
And he does have big ideas.
He has quite a few big ideas.
Very big
He's
ideas,
got quite an
yeah.
active brain power.
Yeah.
Quite a few brain cells. Brain synapses firing up there like a 8-cylinder. Get that engine going. Anyways,
Yeah.
thank you guys. Oh, Old White Walker, hello. And Anna Hoff, thank you. S. Rhodey and all these wonderful people, thank
They
you.
say we love you, Justin.
They do. They say we love you. Really, we've done 300 episodes of Torn Tuesday. And now I say thank you, Hannah,
Oh, thank
for being so thoughtful. And thank you, Ms. Greenwood, Letitia the Great. Greenwood the
Yes.
Great.
Greenwood the Great right
Greenwood
here.
the Great.
Right there.
We have
Yes.
this great synergy. We have so many wonderful audience people. All of you folks around the world, thank you for staying up really late into the hours. Those of you guys in Africa and Europe who stay up so late into the night. And, of course, our friends in New Zealand, all around the world, and South America. Oh, my gosh, so many people around the world.
And in Asia, and
Yeah.
the Middle East, and
It's amazing.
Oceanic, and
Here we are, and I can't believe it. Wow. All these years
Dang.
later, has it been 6 or 7 years? Justin, appreciate you. Hannah, thank you. Hannah,
oh, thank you.
my dear Hannah, my dear Hannah, my dear sweet Hannah. After 300 episodes, I'm quite ready for another adventure.
And this is when we go off into the
And this is we go off into the next adventure.
Ravens.
Yes. Good night, everybody. You guys are awesome. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at QuickBeam2000, QuickBeam. That's Treebeard's friend who would, stop and sway
I
his
can't even spell that
arms
fast.
back and forth and sing to the trees. And Mary and Pippin, they got officially babysat by QuickBeam. Remember?
Well, you babysat them.
I
There
babysat
you
the
go.
hobbits.
You babysat the
Quick Beam
hobbits.
2000. You can find me out there in the world. And Hannah, tell the good folks at home where they can
Okay.
follow you. We've got a tight close-up on you.
On Twitter,
Justin's trying to get you to sign off. Come on, we're signing off. Good
Okay.
night, everybody. Hannah, tell them where to find you on Twitter.
on Twitter you can find me at Cimmerillion28, and on Instagram you can find me at Baggins is here, all underscore. Yeah.
All lowercase,
And
you
if
mean?
you, yeah,
Baggins is here?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are no underscores in it.
That's
It's
what
just
I meant.
okay.
I said that so smoothly. I'm like, yeah, I'm finally smooth. And then you're like,
Good night,
you mean
guys.
undercase.
Good night. You're the best. You guys are really the best. Good night. Thank you. 300 episodes. Woo!